Oh,
That
okay.
way we can. I don't have to worry about it later. Let's see. Is it going? I don't have to worry about it later. Let's see. Is it going?
I don't know.
There it is. Yeah. About it later. Let's see. Is it going?
I don't know.
I need to go to our creator dashboard, stream manager. All right, it's muted. So we are going. We're up. That's good.
Okay.
All right.
Dude, Orlando's so fucked. Like I'm just looking at Google Maps right now. Like this is so fucked.
Yep. It happens though, like almost every year.
I know.
Sometimes it's not this bad, but it seems like with the global warming and stuff, it's becoming this bad all the time.
Yeah, well, that's what a lot of people are saying. Is like because of global warming, it's happening more and more. Like, people compare like, oh, well, 50 years ago we didn't have hurricanes this big or this many hurricanes. It's like I bet we probably did, but we didn't have a tracking and radar system that actually caught all of them.
Yeah.
Like like we do now. Like I bet there was probably close to the same amount, but I don't know.
Oh
But
yeah.
all I know is like this right here, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm really glad it's not hitting Houston because if it were hitting Houston and I had to do this, I would have to say no, I can't do
Yeah.
Zaboys tonight.
Yeah. You'd be
It
like,
would just be like I can't do it. But at least with this and
check.
all the guys that were working over there this afternoon put in all these long-term, flooding things that are obviously going to be flooded for the next couple of days, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's like all I have to do is basically make sure that they don't expire, and then put in any new ones that I get from our TweetDeck account and any emails that I receive. So it's not going to
Tweet
be
deck. Sorry.
it's all good. But it's not going to be difficult for me to do. The hardest part is going to be staying awake.
Yeah.
Because I've already worked. I worked my 8 hours today, so now I get to work. Well, I think I only have to work until about 2 or 3, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting paid for 8 more no matter what. So I'm getting paid for a double shift whether I work the whole thing or not.
Yeah, I
So
gotcha.
I get overtime this week and next week, and this week's paycheck and next week's paycheck are on the or this week's hours and next week's hours are on the same paycheck. So
Yeah.
I'm getting overtime this week and next week. Plus next week, I'm also getting paid an 8 extra hours on Labor Day.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a big old fat check. I'm looking forward to it.
You're not getting Labor Day off?
I originally was going to, but I'm covering Debbie Sexton, and which her
That makes
shift on
sense.
Labor Day is really fucking easy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get paid 16 hours just to do that, and 8 of those hours are gonna be into overtime. So I get time and a half for that.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Plus,
I gotta
yeah.
grab something.
Sounds like you're getting rid of something.
All right. Sorry, I had a booger that was driving me nuts, and I had to come out, or else I was gonna be sitting here the whole show going.
Yeah,
No.
you said you had to go get something, and I heard you blowing your nose. I was like, oh, it sounds like you had to go get rid of something.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, ooh, this is not great,
Yeah, I don't blame you. Besides, we don't want to see you, doing this number right here.
Yeah. And there's been episodes where I've like, yeah. Let me see how much I saw myself peeking for a second. So I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Check. Ah. Brr. Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're barely touching the red spot or the red zone on my side, so you're good.
Yeah. So I'm trying to yeah, we're good. We're balanced now. Maybe it was just something weird.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Chris. We're already like, well, not really. Let's see that. Check. Parker Bosley, what? Oh, Parker, no. Oh, that's the new guy. I was like, who the fuck is this person? All right. Yeah, so I mean, I couldn't think of a fucking segment idea, and I realized the one thing we haven't done since we've come back is just talk
Talk.
about life and how
Yeah.
we're dealing with it, especially in these crazy times. And I know that Chris is going through some stuff, so I thought maybe it'll just be,
Good little venting.
yeah, give everyone a chance kind of just to vent in a pop culture way or to get serious about things or make a point about something and maybe get some stuff off their chest because,
Hmm.
we've been so focused on like covering the news and saying all this bad shit in the world. It's like maybe we can find some way to just let it go. I don't know.
Yeah, I got a couple of things that I can talk about. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not overly stressed. I mean, mostly just work stuff, but I've
Yeah.
got some things that I can discuss. Some little fun stories.
Exactly. We can plug projects and whatnot.
Not a member of Run DMC.
That's
I
good.
had
I
to
like
preface
that.
that. I had to preface that.
I got it all smoky in here.
You look like you're hanging out at Snoop Dogg's house.
Yeah. This room always looks that way, but it doesn't help when I'm vaping. It looks that much worse, but
Will, you are out of focus. What happened?
It's because I moved for a second and then it went out. It was in focus a second ago. Also,
yeah.
you need to turn it up a little bit.
Okay, yeah. No, I probably.
There we go. Well, that's at least a little better.
Switch my mic position. Hold on.
Yeah.
I need to turn up.
Swapping that mic position.
Okay, how about now? Is that better?
And it needs to be up a little bit more.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. If I go up now, there we go. Is that
Oh,
good?
That's looking pretty good. Keep talking.
Check, check, 1, 2, kitty check, mic check, kitty check, into bed.
That is it
Get in
right
bed.
there. At least
Get
on
in
my
bed.
side. How's
Okay,
it
cool.
work for you there, Thorny?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Hi, kitty cat. Yeah, I'm still gonna pet you. Don't worry.
You got a kitty. Oh yeah, I know you have
Yeah.
a kitty, but
Yeah, Sally really loves the boys' time.
of course,
Good thing.
because
Yeah.
whenever you're busy, that's whenever they want you to be busy with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
And,
That's such a cat thing.
Let's see.
Geez, James, you're drinking that vodka so fast.
Oh, God, no. It's all water. I can't do it anymore. I was out
I can't
Friday and I had 3 whiskey cokes and then no, maybe 4 whiskey cokes and a beer and oh dude, it just
So you had 5 drinks and forgot?
well, no, just 5 drinks put me on my ass the next morning. Like I didn't do shit until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I guess that's welcome to 30.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's just getting worse every year. I'm like, if I go somewhere and try to have more than 2 now, I'm like, I'm not driving anywhere. I gotta wait at least 3 more hours before I drive.
Yeah, I remember those good old days whenever I was 21 and 22, and it was like, oh, I can stay up all night, drink, wake up 4 hours later, and be able to go to work and be like, I got a minor headache, but I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Can't do that anymore.
Hell, I remember when we used to.
Not in my life. Not to save my life now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like if I did that, I'd be laid up in bed the entire next day.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 2 days after that.
Yeah, it's almost about 2. Like you get up the second day, but you just are still like, no, I'm not doing anything. Like you don't want to go to work. You don't want to get anything done around the house.
Yep. You just want to be as lazy as possible and just be like, I just want to feel a little better.
Yeah. Thank God that the Cowboys suck as bad as they do, because I can't take touchdown shots anymore. Like,
oh yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I mean I could barely take shots as is, anyways.
yeah, but I remember like when we used to do 7 shots in a game because the Cowboys were stomping that one season.
Yeah, I remember whenever right after we got Dak, and then like it was just like it felt like every 15 to 20 minutes we were having to take a shot, and it's like boom, 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 and then
especially on those late Sunday games, like the 8 o'clock game, and it ends and it's like fucking midnight, and you're driving home like, oh no, this is not safe. wake up, have to go to work in 4 hours, and you're like, kill me.
Well, even the midday games, if it started at, like right after church, like at noon or whatever, and then you're still doing the same thing right at noon.
Yeah.
You have to have like 5 or 6 shots with that, and then it's like all of a sudden, well, I can't go anywhere, so I guess I might as well watch this next game, and then
Yeah.
you eventually just keep having a couple more drinks as you're sitting there.
Yep. By the time
And it's like, ooh, it's a beat down.
yeah. Definitely not something I look forward to during football season anymore. I'm just like,
Nope.
no, I'm not doing touchdown shots.
It's like, no, thanks. I always get mine cut.
Don't really have to worry about that with the Cowboys this year very much. It's just not looking in the cards.
No. Cowboys are in trouble this year.
Yeah, I think today was the dress rehearsal game too, if I'm not mistaken. Like I'm not really up as much as I should be on this year's boys. I just haven't listened to 105.3.
Yeah, no, I'm not either.
As often recently, just for some reason, I've been listening to more music in my car, and so I don't really know if this was the dress rehearsal game, but I think it was because it was the Jaguars dress rehearsal game. So they were playing it like it was theirs. So the Cowboys should have at least been halfway trying. If that was their attempt at what they're supposed to be doing, holy shit!
It's our last preseason game too.
Oh yeah, that was it. That was dress rehearsal. Yeah, they were trying. They were trying their ass off.
Oh, then we're definitely in so much trouble. Like
they're getting the first. They don't play next week. They play the first Thursday game, I think, of the season. Okay. So I think next week there's still preseason games for a lot of teams, but Cowboys are off, and then they play first Thursday of the season or some shit like that. And yeah, nobody has any hope that we're going to do shit this year, which is fine. Because it seems like the years that we don't have hope are the years that we end up doing better.
That's true. But I'm finding that really hard to believe this season. Just watching today and watching Hard Knocks, like we're in.
Yeah, and I don't trust Dak's injury at all.
No, I don't.
I do not trust Dak's injury at all.
Now too. Like his ankle's supposedly good now, but now he's got that shoulder, and Chris is gone.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you don't. Yeah, Dak is not a long-term QB anymore.
No.
He's man, I don't even know. Like between the back and the ankle, he's getting fragile already, and it's probably time to start shopping around for a new QB.
Yeah, I would say so too. I mean, like today they played Gilbert most of the game.
Yeah, because you don't want to risk hurting Dak.
Well, yeah, but Dak also shouldn't have been out there anyways, just because it's preseason at this point. It's like, no, you don't let that happen. And then, you don't want to, as you said, you don't want him to get hurt.
100%.
Hopefully Chris can get his stuff up and running.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
I still need to see all of those Spider-Man movies, man.
You haven't seen all of them yet?
I haven't seen a single one of them. Only the Garfield.
You haven't seen any?
No, none of the Tom Holland ones.
Oh, I thought you were talking about any.
Oh, Spider-Man. No. Yeah, I saw the original 3 with Tobey Maguire, and I saw both of the Andrew Garfield ones.
Okay.
Because I remember walking out of the second Andrew Garfield one and thinking, what the fuck did I just watch?
They kill off Gwen Stacy. That's pretty much the big ending, and that's about it.
No, what was the first Andrew Garfield one was?
It's just they redo.
Lizard. It's a lizard, right?
Yeah.
And then the second ends up being Electro and Green Goblin, I think. Let me see. Spider-Man.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Thank you. The Amazing Spider-Man. Garfield, Emma Stone. Where's the IMDb page for this shit?
It was that bad. They didn't even make one.
No. They did. I just didn't go to IMDb. There we go. 2012. Let's see. Yeah, it's the Lizard. So I saw that one, said, man, that was really good. Walked out of the second one and was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Like, it was god awful. And not even the fact they killed Gwen Stacy. That's fine, because that happens,
Well,
right?
yeah, I was gonna say she has to die, like, at some point in the whole thing anyways.
It was the rhino thing at the end that bothered me. Paul Giamatti
Oh, yeah,
in the
yeah.
fucking rhino suit, just looking like a little twerp hanging from a, I don't even know, an exoskeleton of some sort. And he's just like, ah! And then the helmet comes down and he starts charging and then just ends. And I was like, why? It's like, you
Well,
didn't.
it was like they were setting it up for a third one, and then Andrew Garfield basically just says, "I'm not doing a third one."
That's exactly what happened. They were setting it up for the third one, but fucking the Sam Raimi ones, man. Like even that, they were no. This is a pre-roll.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what Chris said. His camera stopped. Let's try restarting, maybe. No. Yeah, it's like the Sam Raimi one, right? Like they were still planning on making a fourth after that third one, was horrible, but that's because it still made money. But
yeah,
what happened was, and I was watching a whole thing about this last night. Raimi openly admitted he was like 3 was horrible. He's like, I had no clue what I was doing with it because they told me that we had to put Venom in it, and I didn't understand the character at all. Like I didn't know who the character was. I didn't know who the villain was. He's like, I really wanted to make the main villain of that Vulture. And I was going to make this really badass, just kick-ass fucking Vulture. Or no, it was going to be Sandman. Sorry, the main villain was going to be Sandman, and then it was also going to do the
one too.
Yeah. So what happened was, sorry, I'm getting things mixed. It was supposed to be the main bad guy is Sandman, and the Harry Osborn stuff was supposed to finish out too. So there's only going to be 2 villains only. Then in the fourth one, he was going to do Vulture, and it was going to be like basically what the what the Tom Holland Vulture movie ended up being like. It was going to be very much like that. Like it was going to be this kind of badass Vulture just like beating the shit out of Spider-Man and almost killing him. And it was supposed to be a great conclusion. There was supposed to be a small appearance by Mysterio in it, but it was supposed to be like a joke because it was going to be Bruce Campbell playing Mysterio. And he was going to get busted as the opening scene. Like it was going to be him doing Mysterio shit, and Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire comes in and just beats him down in like the first 5 minutes. And then what happened was the studio came back and they said, "Oh, you really need to put this character in this one." And it wasn't Carnage. It was I can't remember if it was Rhino or if it was somebody else. But there's another character that Raimi's like, I don't like that character and I don't understand him. I don't want to do this. And so finally, he went to the studio and just said, look, I think you guys should go ahead and stop this project. I don't want to waste the studio's money making something that I don't think is going to come out good. And they said, thank you for the candor. And he's like, I know you want to do a reboot anyways. Do it. And so he gave him like straight permission to take it and start doing the reboot. So they recast and made the reboot. So what?
So probably a smart move to do that then.
Yeah, I mean, it was at first, and then you saw what came out of the second one with Andrew Garfield, and all of a sudden, that was a whole drama thing. And then now we've got Tom Holland that's like in love with the whole Marvel life and so damn good.
Yeah, he is a really good Spider-Man. Plus, he's young. He actually is young enough to be like what Peter Parker should be. Because like with Tobey Maguire, it's like, dude, you're like 30 fucking years old playing a 16-year-old kid. Like, what the hell? And then Andrew Garfield is like, okay, I get it. You're younger, But why are you a British guy playing an American who is a New Yorker without a New York accent, like pretending to have an American accent that's not even a New York accent?
Well, I
And
mean, they've never given Peter Parker a New York accent. Like, they never give him a Brooklyn accent, you know? They've never given him, like, he's always been from Queens, so he's always just been like, hi, I'm nerdy Peter Parker. You know, it's not like if he was from Brooklyn, you know, he'd be like, hey, fuck you, you fucking idiot. I'm fucking swinging here.
You cocksucker.
Yeah, right? Like,
sound like he's right out of The Sopranos.
yeah, exactly. Fucking quipping in like gangster speech, like, hey, Rhino, why don't you go fuck yourself, yeah? You think that's shocking? I'll show you something shocking. This one time I was hanging out with Black Cat and she told me to put a pinky and a finger in her butthole. I said, what? You fucking with me? Get the fuck out of here. I'm fucking Spider-Man. That was so fucking gross. It's also every little boy's fantasy the first time they ever see Felicia Harding.
What, putting a finger in her butthole?
Uh-huh. Oh, no. We don't kink shame here, right?
No, not at all.
Come on, Chris. We need your stuff to work. We're getting weird over here now. I'm getting weird.
If it doesn't, I mean, we can just put it off till next week. But
yeah, there he is.
Okay, for the past 2 times, this screen has come up, and you guys have been blank, but I've been here. I've been like, where did you guys go?
Weird.
So yeah, I hate things.
Oh yeah.
It's all right. You're here now. We can see you. You're a little, jaggedy, but you're there.
I'm janky a little bit.
I can hear one of you.
No, not anymore. Like you were for a split second, and then now you got all the green bars.
All the green bars. All right. Go.
Hold on. Let's do a sound check. I can hear one of you guys repeating.
Is it me?
Check.
It's Will.
It's me.
Yep. I can hear when you say it's me, there's like a 2-second delay, and then I hear it again in the background somewhere.
Yeah, but it wasn't doing that whenever it was just you and me on the stream, was it? I do
not hear anything.
Check.
I can kind of hear it.
Check. Okay, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, I can't hear anything either.
Okay, cool. Chat says I can't hear it either, so we're good.
Okay. Well, I'm not seeing anything on my side, so.
Yeah.
Show order. How do you guys want to do this? Do you guys want to go, really light, kind of, I guess wouldn't be technically serious, but I guess personal in the middle and then end with news? Or do we want to end with personal?
I was kind of thinking end with news. So
end with news.
Okay, so end with the news. How do you want to start it? Do you want to go personal or do you want to go light?
Good question.
I know. That's the only thing I couldn't think of, is because it's like
we could start out. I mean, just go ahead and get on into it and do all that. Yeah, and then just save everything else for. Yeah, let's do that.
Which one?
Let's have yours lead off there, Thorny.
Okay, I was saying that way. I feel like it's good. It's a good warm up. It gets everybody talking at least.
Yes, I think so. I think that'd be good. Okay, and then I got bands. A band called Carterize, a band called Lone Star Conspiracy, and a band out of Austin, the After Dark Society. Say that 5 times fast again. And then I'm going to plug our Locals Connection podcast, not only hanging out with Ted McKay, but we have Links Talks, we have the Mental Health Podcast, and we have Wicked Bitter.
Yeah, well, the sad thing is none of these people have updated jack shit.
Like, even on their personal? Like,
yeah, I've been looking. Like, they haven't done anything.
You've been looking? Oh, that's terrible.
Yep. So honestly, if you just plug Ted McKay, I think we'll be all right. I'm kind of disappointed with these people. They're like, hey, we want to help and do stuff, and it's like, well, you got to start putting out content. Like I can't
Right,
promote you
exactly.
if you don't have content.
Yeah,
This
can't
is
promote
true.
just the same podcast over and over again. It doesn't work like that. All right, so let's do that. Anything else I want to plug? I'll probably shout out to the couple of new MPX champions that I didn't get to see yesterday. Yeah, I didn't even get to go yesterday. Nadia was feeling ill, and we wanted to make sure that it wasn't COVID like, so I stayed home, and so didn't go out last night either. But so we're pretty sure it's not COVID because so far no fever, so far no loss of smell or anything. It's a wet cough. It's stuff that she seems like she's had last year, which is just some upper respiratory stuff that she gets during the summer. And I'm thinking more it's that, just mainly because that wet cough. That cough is not a COVID cough. It's not
some allergy stuff.
No fever. Yeah, it seems like more allergy stuff that's really affecting her than anything. And she had it last year around this time, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
it was around like the end of summer ish. So yeah, keeping an eye on it. But I just tested negative on Wednesday. So I was like, okay, if the only point in contact would have been me a couple of different times, I had a couple of different mini scares or whatnot. So that would have been me bringing it in, but I've tested negative, so most likely she's negative, and it's most likely we're good. But we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. If she's still feeling super ill, we'll go get the test.
Yeah. Well, no worries, man. We're all doing this over the internet.
Right, exactly.
You can't spread human viruses over the internet, only computer viruses.
Yeah, I know, but it's really funny when you see like celebrities when they're like announcing they have COVID or something like that. They're doing their little like interviews and they have the mask on.
It's like,
are you in a place where someone is? Like, I can understand that if like someone's in the room with you and you're doing it that way because someone's actually there. And
yeah, but if there's no one there, like,
the
are
TV?
you?
Yeah,
I'm completely pro mask, but
yes,
if you're by yourself and all you're doing is talking into a camera and a microphone that's yours, it really doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
that one loses me. All right, I'm gonna get something to drink. I'm gonna get some more water, and then we're ready to go.
Cool.
All right, I'm gonna go grab my other energy drink, and then
Oh, don't drink two of those back to back.
You're right. I probably shouldn't.
Say that's dangerous, man. That's
yeah. You're right.
If anything, pop the other one whenever you feel like you're fading off, and you might actually need it. But even then, I'd say just try coffee.
That's true.
Oh man! Wow, you can really dance. Wow, you can really dance.
That's what I'm gonna go get. That'll keep me awake too.
Cool.
So now I'm standing there holding a hairbrush and a pack of markers looking stupid. How was I supposed to know that was
Nice. All right, Will's going to go grab something.
What's this hurricane called?
Ida. IDA.
Hurricane's Ida? Okay. We got to make sure to mention something about it. And is there any relief fund thing already?
I have no idea, but yeah, I figured it's going to be part of this talk. This intro stuff. We'll all hit it. Whoa! What happened?
Hey, Morgan!
The energy drink. What?
We can.
Okay.
Gonna have Morgan step in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Get it? Bad Ida jokes.
American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and that's really it right now.
Cool.
So there's not like a relief fund set up yet, like with Hurricane Katrina, but there will be, because as of right now, New Orleans doesn't have power. So
yeah.
No. Oh yeah, it'll happen.
You got a whole fucking parish, not just a city.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Not just at the city, Craig, of the world. Top flight security, not just at the city, Craig, of the whole world. How many bands will comment after I said I've got 3? 1.
Oh, probably 4 or 5 more.
2, 3, 4, 5 already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also gonna put edit. I have 3 bands now. Hold on, let's see if anyone pays attention.
Just let them keep posting. I always use them another time. What was that? Red 6. Orange 5, ready to fly.
Orange 6, I have no power. I repeat, I have no power. Orange 3, I have no power.
Are we adding one more song at the end of segment 3?
I got 3. I got 3 songs.
I was just, like, that's why I was asking if you had 3, because normally we only do 2.
No,
I thought normally we do 3, and last time we did 2 for some reason.
I've only been adding 2.
Oh, I always thought it was 3.
Yeah, you've added 3.
I thought it was at least.
Yeah, yeah, it's been 3.
Fuck it, the joke's passed. I'm done. I don't need that.
The other 10.
Okay. There's our skit, guys. We just accidentally almost wrote it right there.
What? Yeah, we thought we did 3, or we thought we only did 3.
Which song's on
no,
third?
Star Wars. The fighter pilots.
Oh.
Talking between each other because there's not an orange unit. There's like red, there's yellow, I think there's green, but there's not like an orange unit.
No orange.
Orange.
It's the you know they're the gingers of.
They suck.
What you need to do is you got to get a green screen and then green screen yourself in one of those ships. and then do like cut yourself into the scene. So it's like Squadron Red 5 going high. Got your tail. This is Yellow 7, and then somebody else chips in with, "Hey guys, Orange 3 here. Where are you? I don't see you guys anywhere around."
We're over a little further away. You can see that red blip on your sector screen. Yeah, a little bit further away from that orange unit. Go that way.
Go the other way.
Cut into a. Was that you guys?
Oh my god.
Blue 7? Blue 7!
Okay, we gotta workshop that out, but that's good.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, when you guys are ready, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this thing.
Here we go in 3, 2, 1. So I've got this Russian friend who's a sound engineer. And a check 1, 2. A check 1, 2.
Always bringing comedy, delivering entertainment frequently, giving hope infamously, just taking it like most normal, outstanding people, quietly revealing satire, trivially usurping volatile whack jobs and xenial yahoos. It's Zaboys!
Yes! Thorny Thornquist with the great intro, like always, and the champagne poppers leading us in there like they always do on a Sunday evening on twitch.tv/Zaboys_podcast. We are the Zaboys podcast. I am Positive C, sounding out of breath, honestly, because of that exciting intro. James Thorny Thornquist, you're down there in the corner.
What's up, guys? Oh, man.
Why y'all sweaty? It was a good episode of Cops. And Will playing with his headphones violator.
They fell off. I was finishing off my energy drink here.
Live
man.
TV, live recorded things happening right now.
I've gotta pee.
Oh man, yeah.
I gotta pee.
And the producer is always doing the right thing, turning into knobs and twisties, making us sound good, sound professional, like we actually know what we're doing around here.
Do we really?
We do know. We kind of do. I think we know what we're doing tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We're going to have a lot of serious talks, and we're going to have just a lot of the normal Zaboys rapture humor here tonight. We have
rapture humor.
Well, I have the Run DMC hat on, and
Yeah.
so I'm just thinking of like things, kind of hip hop style
I
tonight,
got you.
rolling down. But yeah, so we got.
But you're not a member of Run DMC though, right?
Yeah.
So make sure you know that. I'm
Not a
positive
member
C,
of Run
not
DMC.
a member of Run DMC. Jam Master Jay, rest your soul. And so later on, we're going to talk about the news. We're going to riff on the news. The normal Zaboys night. We're going to do that. That's going to be nice and fun with Will the Violator Shotwell. And we're going to get nerdy. We haven't gotten nerdy in a couple of episodes. We didn't even get that nerdy with Sebastian, which is weird. We kind of glossed over a lot of the nerdy stuff, but we're gonna get nerded out and talk about the No Way Home trailer. That is big time. It broke records when it comes to trailer watching. We're gonna talk a little bit about trailer culture a little bit, but really dive into the No Way Home trailer because I think it was one of the best Easter egg trailers in the past little bit. It didn't give away too much. And then, but finally, we're gonna start off by getting a little personal. And the person to give us this personal look inside of ourselves is James Thornquist. So, Thorny, what do you have for us? What do you want to start us off?
Guys, we haven't done this in a long time. Back in the day when we were just a bunch of young strapping lads hanging out shirtless, killing Miller Lights back in Will's apartment, sitting around a tiny table.
When we were in our mid-20s.
Yeah.
We could do the show shirtless. Yeah.
No AC. And then we got a little older and we would sit around the 107 or whatever that was, the AM station studio.
1190.
Yeah, 1190. Shirtless, 1190. Staring at boobs and drinking rye whiskey. Eating donuts.
It was a little weird whenever Cassie got shirtless. That was strange.
But we used to just kind of start the show off with a little talk about our what we were doing with our lives and how things were going and how things had been and how we were feeling, and we haven't done that in so long. So I just want to ask both of you guys, how are you doing? I know the world's kind of crazy right now, so how are you doing?
Jeez, I guess I could start. I mean,
go ahead.
Hold on, let me. Did you guys hear that?
Mm-hmm.
my quarters and 2 cents right there. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, my 2 cents.
My 2 cents.
You throw a penny in the center of the table and hear that.
We need to bring that back. That needs to be done. So my week has been terrible. My past couple of weeks have been really bad. I deal with, I'm very open and honest with, bipolar disorder and anxiety, and the bipolar disorder has very much been taken care of. I'm not necessarily, ever cured bipolar, but my mood swings aren't there. I'm not getting depressed as much. It is more my anxiety that is, I think, even getting worse as I get older, and it's definitely becoming affecting my personal life, my everyday life. I feel senses of worthlessness that I've never really felt before, and it's crazy. It's wild, and I think a lot of it has to do with grief that I was experiencing, and we went over that grief already and whatnot. But then something happened in therapy, which therapy is great and all, but sometimes you can bring up a subject in therapy, and it's like, crap, what the hell?
Yeah, you open a can of worms.
And this was my prison sentence, and so everything that I kind of was feeling my entire life about my whole, getting into prison, what I did to get there, which is the burglaries and, the guilt of the whole situation behind being on the run and not reporting for probation for 1.5 years. And, I was homeless for a while. I did so many things that, in that time, it was really thinking about it in numbness, it should have really, scarred me probably with my life, you know what I mean? But didn't really think about it that way. And then being in prison and the numbness that it wasn't really like this super traumatic experience, which it should be. Yeah. And I didn't miss my family as much as I should have. So it was very, so I had that guilt on it, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. And so I'd opened up that can of worms, and now I just felt very like I was catching up with all of that in a week span, and so my anxiety has been off
skyrocketing.
The charge. Yeah, I haven't really been in the best place, but today I felt a little better. I guess. So,
no, I
good talking to you guys.
I definitely know what you mean by the whole anxiety thing. I think with the way that things are going right now in the world, high anxiety is all over the place. Depression's on the rise because of COVID these past 2 years. So what you're feeling, I think, is pretty much normal. I recently, like, I told you all 2 weeks ago I was going to go to the doctor because I was feeling weird. And my doctor came back and said, "Hey, everything's fine. You probably just have some anxiety that you need to go get worked out." And I was like, "No, never. What are you talking about? Therapy? That doesn't work, right? Oh, shit." So that's, I 100% feel where you're coming from, man.
Yeah, same. I mean, I've been to therapy before. This was a number of years back, but I mean, I ended up doing like I think 10 different sessions. Like once a week,
Yeah.
and I mean, it helped out. But there was a point after I did about 10, maybe even 11 of them, I was like, you know what? I don't feel like I need this anymore.
Yeah.
And it was just like I've got this under control. Like I never had to go on medicine or anything, but at the time I got the demons off my chest that I needed to get off, and it's like I can handle this from now on by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But it was definitely nice to have somebody to talk to that's just like, hey, I'm here. I'm going to ask these questions that some people aren't going to ask you because it's not that they don't want to know. It's more like they're not sure if they can step over that boundary or not. Like a therapist. You're paying a therapist to ask you those questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
You're paying them to step over that bound, and so I mean, I think it's working. I enjoy my therapist. She actually got COVID, which sucks for her.
That does.
Yeah,
suck.
she
vaccinated?
She couldn't. She has a autoimmune disease that prevents her from getting the vaccine. So she had to kind of rough it the hard way. And so it's hit her hard, and she's surviving, and she's making it through without having to go to the hospital. So it's actually kind of good for her because she got it, and her immune system's fighting it. And so as long as she, it's probably going to be a lot longer for her fighting it, but as long as she makes it through, her chances of getting of it again definitely go down, and then her survivability rate of the next time she gets it definitely goes up. So it's like, it's one of those things where her line of work also, she was definitely going to get it. I've just assumed I've gotten it because I work out in the public so much. But yeah, and then I missed a lot of appointments and a lot of like commitments that I've had this week because of because of COVID scare. I missed both my wrestling training, and then my personal trainer, all his family has COVID.
Yeah.
So he had to stop the training with people. He was actually living in his gym for a while, and then was like, no, I can't live in my gym anymore. I need to go home and, deal with the family. So Remy, good job on you taking care of your family, man. And hope you guys are making it through out there. But yeah, he's at home right now, quarantined with his family, even though he tested negative and was good. But he was like, no, I'm gonna go there and take care of the fam. He's gotten it once, and then he got vaccinated, so it's all good. Like he's probably there, his immune system's kicking ass right now, like stabbing COVID right in the heart, being like,
that's definitely something we're seeing more of too. Is these people who are so against vaccines, all of a sudden someone in their family is getting it, and they're like, oh, okay, this isn't just made up, and I'm seeing how this affects people. Oh, crap! And so I had a coworker who was very anti-vaccine, went and got it 2 weeks ago because two of his grandkids got it, and he was like, "Shit."
Yeah, well, it's a real thing.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
And sometimes it literally just takes all of us. Like it takes it hitting home with, personally to you before you realize,
Definitely.
I have not been thinking about this correctly. Like I've been pretending like this doesn't exist or it's not that big of a deal, but once you see it actually happen to you or to somebody that you love or care about, it will change your perspective. And that's the thing that some people, in my opinion, need to understand. Like if they haven't been personally affected by it, at some point you're going to, and you might regret not listening to the people who have already been affected and said, no, you need to take this seriously.
Yeah.
It's like AIDS. So when the AIDS epidemic first started, a lot of people didn't really take it that seriously because it was supposed to be a quote unquote gay disease.
Yeah, only the gays were getting it.
It's a certain thing. Yeah, exactly. And then when everyone freaked out about it because no one knew how you actually got it, it was all of this panic and all of this misinformation and stuff like we're seeing right now happen. And then it took a while for the science and everything to really be pushed in everyone's face. Like, no, this is the only way you can get this. And no, this is the only way all this is going to happen. And no, you're not just gay, or you're not just black, or this is not just this. This is what this actually is. And still there are people who deny the science of AIDS and HIV. But most people eventually, within like the mid 90s, late 2000s, finally caught on, and then we don't hear about it as much. Maybe that'll happen with COVID. Maybe within the next 10 to 15 years, it's like, yeah, COVID exists. You can still get COVID, but it's kind of like you get AIDS. Like, you know, there's preventable ways not to get COVID now. So, you know, if you get COVID, you're a freaking idiot. Almost like if you, I mean, I wouldn't say you're an idiot if you get AIDS, but there's ways to prevent, you know, not getting AIDS now. There's certain things you can kind of not do to not get AIDS. Maybe eventually COVID will end up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know what? Sometimes people have problems wearing things that they should.
Double whammy right there. Will, how are you doing, man? You haven't...
I'm doing all right for the most part. I've been just working a whole lot. Still working from home. Not really... I mean, I kind of want to go back to the office, but at the same time, I save a lot of money working from home.
Yeah.
Plus, I get to be here. I can wake up. You know, if I really, really wanted to, I could wake up 5 minutes before my shift starts, and then take the 30 steps to get into my home office. Y'all can see part of it right here if you're watching the stream. Yeah. At least you know that side. And then I can just turn on my computer and just get right to work. And I mean, even right now, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I'm not supposed to be doing Zaboys right now, but I am anyways. I'm getting paid to work overnight as well. So technically I'm on the clock working and taking care of all the stuff that's going on with Hurricane Ida out in New Orleans. So if y'all ever see me just kind of stare off into the distance for a split second, that's because I'm doing some update stuff. But for the most part, like, work has been kind of just doing its thing. Morgan and I moved into this new place a couple of months ago, and it's been going pretty good. I came in second place at my high stacks poker league that I've been playing in this past season. And man, by 13 points, 13 points. Like, all I had to do was place in 9th, or the guy who was in second behind me had to place 5th or less. He got 4th, and I got 10th. So he beat me by 13 points, which is almost nothing.
Missed it by that much.
Yeah, missed it by that much. And I was about to get my first bracelet. I was going to be the rookie guy who got a bracelet, and I was looking forward to it. And I shit the bed.
It just wasn't in the cards.
It just wasn't in the cards, but it was what it was.
Yeah. No.
I had something else that I was going to discuss, and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I'm sure it'll come back at some point, you know, after we're done recording, and then I'll be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
What are you seeing on your end with Ida? I know that since you're doing, you know, the traffic and whatnot, you're getting
everything.
You're just getting tons of info. Like, what are you seeing right now?
Oh, you want to here? Let me grab this camera here real quick, and I'll show you what the screen looks like on my work computer.
Scenes look at traffic.
Here, give me a second.
Oh my god!
Just lines of text, just constant. Yeah, just scrolling through lines of updates of traffic issues. Oh, there's the red. Here's the blue. Here's the orange.
That looks bad. I don't know what that is, but that looks awful.
All of that is nothing but closures because of flooding.
Yeah.
And you know, fallen trees, and you know, complete closures because nobody has any kind of power whatsoever. I mean, if you go and look at look at Google Maps, I mean, it's to put it bluntly, fucked.
New Orleans has no power.
Yeah, New Orleans is completely out of power. Everybody in New Orleans is having to use backup generators. Like, no one has power.
You just got to build them onto your homes there now.
Yeah, at this point, although they do claim that you know, they built the levees up to, you know, be a lot better since Katrina. But this storm is being compared to Katrina just because of like how powerful it is. It's not as big as Katrina, but it's just as powerful. And I think it's technically on par with the first and second most powerful hurricanes that have actually gone through there in New Orleans. That's hit Louisiana. Like, I mean, it's a fucking mess.
So I mean, bright side of that, at least it's a good reminder to all of us that life could be worse. You could be sitting in, feet of water and sludge trying to stay trying to stay warm in the rain.
Just think about it. So that happened in 2005, Katrina, right? That was 2005, I think.
Yeah.
2005. Yes. Yeah. Yep.
2005. And then this is 16 years later.
Yeah. And another one that is kind of compared to is Laura, that went through a couple of years ago. But Laura was, I think whenever it hit landfall, I think it was only a Cat 3. This is a Cat 4, which is the same as what Katrina was. Katrina was almost Cat 5.
Almost.
And that was just made worse because those levees and there's no.
Yeah, because
that stopped the water.
Well, the levees broke.
Yeah.
Not to quote Led Zeppelin, but
I mean, they predicted the future with it. Just we didn't pay attention. No, man. But yeah, these hurricanes seem to be getting worse and worse constantly and every year, and I think it's. Like, we were talking earlier, I think it's because of global warming, obviously. I mean, we love to deny that it's a thing, but you've seen the seasons just change drastically lately.
Yeah, I mean, look at what happened in the Northwest. I mean, they were having temperatures that they've never seen before. I mean, they hit 104, 105. And, down here at the time, it was like, 80. Or it was like 85, maybe 90 degrees. It's like, no, it should be completely flip-flop.
The damn ocean caught on fire at one point this summer. Like water caught fire.
So in Nova Scotia, Canada, my mom sent me this. They closed a restaurant due to extreme heat in friggin' Canada. They told these workers, we're not going to make you work today because they probably don't have central AC up there. Most places don't. So it's so hot up there. They can't even
don't have AC. They just
AC. Why would you do that? There's no point to that. And so it's crazy. Now you're gonna see, and I think it's really strange because I think the infrastructure of places is gonna be really affected. I'm always really worried about these big highways, right? That are being built out of this concrete that are I hope is weather thought to withstand extreme cold to heat. Because now we're dealing with, I think, a lot more deep freezes, and we're going to get really, really hot in the summer. So is this concrete stable? Is it going to be okay to freeze, freeze, and then get reheated and super freeze and reheat? I've been thinking about that for years and years and years, and this last winter, I'm almost freaked out by it. But
especially looking at what happened in Texas in February. I mean, our entire power grid basically went to shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it
happened over the summer too, but
it didn't go to complete shit during the summer, but
that one day, everyone was like, "Oh, haircut, you son of bitches." But Thorny, how are you, brother?
I mean, like I said, I was worried there for a bit. I seem to be feeling better. I'm mostly just trying to, I guess, stay focused on managing everything, trying to manage my health and eat healthier, trying to manage my stress and anxiety now by not putting so much stock into everything that seems so little, which is weird because I was already the kind of guy that was hard to stress out as it is. At least like in my, the way I saw it, I always felt like I was always at ease and really didn't put much stock into a lot of things. So for me to have to do that less now is really kind of challenging because it's like, you just can't stay stoned 24/7. Like as much as you wish you could, it's kind of hard to do your job. It's kind of hard to drive around. So you're like, okay, I've got to find other ways to just chill. And I found myself getting annoyed by little things, like just little lectures. If someone decides to give me like a work lecture or something for not controlling something that I have no ability to control whatsoever, I just kind of get irked by it now. And I'm like, is this the day that I quit?
Does Facebook set you off with some of that kind of shit? Because
it can, but I try to avoid looking at all of that stuff on Facebook now. Like I've cleaned up my Facebook to where it's mostly just ads, memes, and people sharing videos. Friends. Yeah, and exactly, and actual friends. Yeah, so if you guys post something, I see it. If anyone in the band posts something, I see it. a few people when they post like their vacation photos, I see it, and even that I scroll by, and then past that, it's just like college humor stuff constantly. It's like college humor posted a video. That was epic. Posted a video, and I'm like, oh great, let's watch these, because I don't want to focus on the stressors of the world, which is hard right now, especially with again what's been going on. I mean, we're back into a political debate, obviously, which I don't want to address. I think we've all got a stance on it. I think we're all very close to the same stance on it, honestly.
Most likely.
Yeah.
But that's a whole mess, and it's just every time where you look now, media is constantly telling you bad things. So it's like we've all got to find ways to de-stress, you know. Mm-hmm. But that's my 2 cents.
And you know what? I think that's actually a really good segue, because that's what we're supposed to do here on Zaboys. We are actually, whenever we first came up with this, I remember it was me, Will, and old Hutch sitting around in the place where we actually shouldn't have been living, but we were living, the Universal Rehearsal. And we were hanging out. We were just talking around. We were like, you know what? We should record what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We were just hanging out talking about
I turned on my
nerdy
R16.
Yeah, and we just sat there
it.
and talked about everything under the sun ourselves, but we talked about things that helped us escape, you know, just the everyday mundane life, and really stuff that we were passionate and loved. And I think that's what we're gonna do next, because we are all nerds and we love nerdy things.
Stuff.
And so I was gonna make this segment more of a breakdown of trailer culture and how trailers have, you know, ruined movies and stuff like that. But I think that can be saved for another day. I want to do something fun. So we're going to break down the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer and see if we can make some percentages or make some guesses on where this is actually going and why it's going there. So we'll have some fun with that. We have music from a few different bands today. We have Lone Star Conspiracy, the After Dark Society, and Carterize. We'll make a grab bag who you hear right now. After this break, you will hear this on the Deep Dallas Radio. That is where we're on the Monday nights at 8 p.m. We're also on twitch.tv/Zaboys_podcast. That's where you can watch us right now. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with some Spider-Man No Way Home trailer breakdown right after this on the Zaboys podcast.
And we're out.
I've got to pee.
Nice.
I've got to pee.
I've gotta pee. I've gotta pee. All right, good for a segment.
Hell yeah.
Good for a segment. I felt very loved and listened to and cared about in that segment.
I think that was a big part of why I think Thorny wanted to do that. Just, you know, all of us had, you know, could get some stuff off our chest anyways. Just because, I mean, every now and then everybody fucking needs it.
Yeah, life be hard sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Life be fucking
hard, man.
Yeah.
You just don't realize it, you know, whenever you're younger. It's like, oh, well, life can't be that hard. Then you get in the real world. It's like, oh, so this is what they were all talking about. Why didn't I listen?
And it's crazy because I have so many commitments going on, but they're all good. But I didn't go to almost any of them this weekend. I felt so drained of the good feeling that I had like kind of built up by doing all this stuff, because it didn't happen for like another week. So I was gone 2 weeks from MPX. Hadn't been there in 2 weeks.
Oof.
Didn't get to do any training. Didn't get to do my personal training. Like I just felt so bogged down with not doing. You know what I mean? Instead of being bogged down with so much to do, I felt like I got bogged down with not doing any of the stuff I had on my plate.
Mm-hmm. See, I know what you mean though, because that's like how I felt 2-3 weeks ago as well. Like when I started doing all this doctor stuff, because I had no motivation. I was constantly sleepy. Things like hurt, and I was just like, I don't want to do anything. Like I wanted to basically come home from work, eat garbage food, watch TV, or go to sleep, and then wake up the next day and do it again. And it was just horrible. And like you said, like everything that I had commitments to, I didn't want to do them. And if I did go do them, I was just pissed the whole time. And then I'd get home and then realized I was lonely. And I was like, Jesus, I was like, what is going on? And then it just one day, I woke up and it was all gone. And I don't, a part of me honestly thinks this might be like something like either a side effect of COVID or possibly this Delta variant maybe's like not hitting people who are vaccinated as hard, but it's still like mentally beating us down somehow. We don't even realize it. So I mean, it's crazy, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's back to Russian roulette going out now, so who knows? It's probably really beating us all down. I know I'm kind of beaten down with it, but especially for the past couple of weeks, because it's been like degrees of separation COVID for me. It's like like this one guy got it who had been training, but he had not been there since like a week before he said he had got it. So I'm like counting days. I'm like, okay, possibly, maybe, but most likely not. And then when the guy said, hey, my personal trainer said, hey, my kid has it. I'm like, oh, well, fuck me. I was just with you. You were just stretching me out, man. I probably, if you have it, I have it now. So yeah, so it's degrees of separation have been too close. And so far, the job hasn't been degree of separation. Everyone's doing pretty good. Even though, like, I hear people, like, talking amongst themselves sometimes, talking about friends they know, and they're like, oh, okay, we're good then. I'm like, wait a second. How long?
Maybe not. So wait, when was the last time you saw them?
Yeah, exactly. All right, next one is a Spider-Man Far From Home. So basically what we're going to do is first we're going to break into it, talk a little bit about trailers, just talk about, what you think a good trailer should do, and what do you think a bad trailer should do, and then we'll go into actually what that trailer is.
Good.
Wait, bad trailer should be good. He's figured it out. Give him the award.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, sleepy kitty cat.
Y'all ready?
P-E-E-R-U-N-P run. Sorry.
Go ahead and throw it into me, Thorny.
Will do.
3, 2, 1. Hit it.
Welcome back, everybody, to Zaboys. That is right. The Zaboys podcast is back. And then, man, I've got some tingles and some chills, and they're multiplying. I don't know what that is. Chris, what is that I'm feeling? I feel like something's like got me all worked up.
Is that your Peter tingle?
I think that might be my Peter tingle, which is not the same as my Spidey sense, I guess. Although I feel my Peter tingle way too often, so maybe I need to get that checked out.
You just went to the doctor, so he'll be definitely down to check your Peter tingle. And yes, from one of the greatest lines in the entire MCU comes one of the best characters in the MCU right now, which is Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and he has a new movie out this year in Christmas time. It is called Spider-Man No Way Home, and we are all super excited about it, actually. I just from all the rumors and whatnot surrounding what could possibly be in this movie, there was a lot of excitement built up before even the release of the first trailer, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah, people were begging for this trailer.
Begging, releasing fake trailer leaks and stuff. Like everyone was wanting to know what was going to happen in this trailer. But before we get into actually talking about that, this trailer spawned a thought in my head about trailers in general, and this was going to be a conversation maybe about trailers in general here on the Zaboys podcast on Deep Dallas Radio and the Locals Connection, but we want to go a little different way with it. But I really want to talk to you guys at first about what do you think makes a good trailer and what do you think makes a bad trailer, because I think there are a lot of examples of both within the past couple of years. What makes a good trailer here, Thorny?
Oh, a good trailer, I think, is something that it's got to have a hook. It's got to grab you. It's got to make you think, oh, crap, I want to see that movie. Not just based off who's in it, but it's got to, like, flash some kind of little bit of enough suspense and action where you go, wow, okay, that looks cool. And I don't want it to tell me too much of the movie either. I don't want it to give away every good scene.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of trailers nowadays do. They give away some of the best parts, so it's just like, okay, well, like, why go to the movie if you can just watch the trailer and be like, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I can probably assume the rest of it. But I think a good trailer needs to hook you just enough, as you were saying, to make you want to go watch it more. It needs to have that suspense, but it also needs to be unique and one of a kind. Right now, I think a lot of trailers that come out, they're all kind of cookie cutter based. Like they use the same techniques to create it because there's a formula for how to make a trailer. Like, it's like, how to make a pop song. And people are doing trailers this way now. And I mean, it works, but if you use the wrong parts, like you give away the movie too much. And also another thing that I kind of think is having a teaser for a trailer is an interesting new thing that people are doing. It's like, hey, we're going to tease you with this little thing about the trailer that we're about to show you.
Yeah, little bits of the trailer.
And that's one of the things that I think honestly makes makes it or going to be a bad trailer, because if they have to tease it, they're trying to hype it up too much already. So
yeah, kind of. I mean,
I can see that just being the way the entertainment system's working right now. It's because you want it's happening like that in music all the time too. Music videos for especially local bands, but music videos in general, it's always this little bit of the video, and then you get a 30-second clip of the video, and then you get the video.
Yeah,
it's kind of one of those situations where
the announcement for "Keep your eyes open, guys. We're about to drop something cool," instead of just dropping it.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have to stay ahead of everything.
Yeah.
You got to stay ahead of whatever is happening. But I think trailers now, they fall into this category of either two ways. And I think the MCU does it really well in some trailers, which they allow enough of the good action set pieces to be seen. But they also don't allow too much of the plot to be, or too much of the twist to be seen.
Yeah, they leave you in question.
Yes, exactly. But some trailers, and the bad ones now, I think, are kind of like the whatchamacallit, the G.I. Joe trailer just came out.
I didn't even know
Snake Eyes.
There's
a Snake Eyes movie.
They're in origin stories now.
And most of the cool set pieces, from what I've heard, are all in the trailer. Everything cool that is in that movie is in that trailer, and they almost show it in order.
That trailer fight in the trailer.
Right, exactly. Going back before we go to the Spider-Man trailer, one of the best trailers I think ever in the history of cinema is the Matrix trailer.
Yeah,
if you go back and watch the Matrix trailer, the original Matrix trailer, it tells you absolutely nothing about that movie, but it gives you enough of the cool things about it to where you go, ooh, what is that? I don't know what that is, but I at least want to go see that. You see certain things in certain time frames where you only see a little bit of it, and you see a lot of like the big Trinity trace at the very beginning, but it makes it seem like it's all over the movie. So you don't really get, too overloaded by all the different cool things, and you don't know where it is in the movie that's going to happen. So that trailer, go back and watch the original Matrix trailer. That's doing it right. It left you with enough suspense, but showed you enough to where you're like, this movie is going to be cool. I just don't know what the hell it's about.
Right.
I'll have to test that out.
Trailer as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Inception was a good one too. We need to have a Zaboys list of the trailers. That's going to happen.
The best movie trailers.
Best movie trailers that we can find. But this all really got going with the Spider-Man Far From Home. Spider-Man
does whatever Spider-Man.
Before the trailer came out, there was a maybe possible trailer leak of someone at either Comic-Con or somewhere where they had a whole bunch more footage of Andrew Garfield and actually Tobey Maguire in the trailer. So that is neither maybe here nor there. That might actually have been a fake trailer. So
I think it was.
But none of the stuff in that trailer was in this trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was all a fake trailer right there. And then there was another trailer leak of actually this trailer that happened right before this one came out. And I actually thought that was, and that's what caused Disney to go ahead and release this trailer. But that is not the case. That is not the case because in WandaVision, there's a heart on August 23rd.
Yep.
In one of their scenes, there's a heart right there. And guess when the trailer came out for Spider-Man No Way Home? August 23rd. So this is all a very, very well-planned and designed scheme by the Disney mouse people to get us really prepared for this. So a couple of things that were confirmed by this trailer, and I want to know if you guys had heard this before, are the return of Alfred Molina's Doc Ock. Did you guys hear about this? Was that something that you had heard that was going to happen?
I hadn't, but apparently it was out there in articles where he had addressed that he was coming back as Doc Ock.
I did not hear anything about it.
So that was a surprise for you.
Yeah.
Very much.
So how not hearing about it was that as, because even I had heard about it, but even seeing it and seeing the way they actually did it with the tentacle coming out and then them just showing up almost looking exactly like he did, I jumped, I popped for it. Did you guys pop for it?
Oh yeah, dude, it blew my mind. I was like, what the what? Like I was sitting here just kind of like just literally just saying what, and was just like, what? Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't actually keep up with it a whole lot. I mean, I watched it, but I'm not. I mean, I enjoy the MCU, but I didn't really keep up with the whole thing. Like, so y'all are obviously a little bit more hyped about this than I am. But the other day, I went to an orchestra thing with Catherine's brother Michael, and he and his buddy were talking about the trailer. So I was like, well, I'm gonna really have to watch it now. And like they were geeking out about it, and so I was like, well, this must be good. Like, if people are losing their minds over like some of the things that they showed, like there must be some serious Easter eggs in it. So I was
hard.
Yeah.
So let's go over some of these Easter eggs besides the Doc, because that was the big reveal at the end of it that really got people really, really going. But there's also some of these little ones in here that are planting so many crazy seeds for the MCU to come, especially because I didn't realize this, but this movie, or Far From Home, took place after WandaVision. So there's a certain things that are said in Far From Home that actually have to do with some of those things that might have happened in WandaVision and things like that. So that is all that kind of the breaking point of maybe the breaking of the multiverse in general. But first, and a lot of the beginning scenes of the trailer and all the scenes of the trailer have to do with the chase, I think, right after Far From Home, whenever Peter's identity gets exposed. You see him, he's swinging around Manhattan with Mary Jane for a lot of the trailer, and his picture's up on everywhere, and so is J. Jonah Jameson's face. But something he swings by that is really a throwback to some things that happened in Far From Home is the building that used to be the Avengers Tower that is now redesigned. And one of the little Easter eggs from Far From Home was a 1, 2, 3 and blank space at a little sign at the bottom of this building. That most likely will be the Baxter Building, and that most likely will be the beginnings of the Fantastic Four. So that little Easter egg was dropped in there because the director of this movie is now actually pinned to be the director of the Fantastic Four movie.
Nice.
Cool.
This will be the third Fantastic Four reboot, but we had 3 Spider-Man reboots, so maybe we'll finally get a good Fantastic Four movie with John Krasinski and Elizabeth Blunt. What? I didn't say that.
Right. She said that she does not want to do it.
Aww.
She has been vocal in her not wanting to do Sue Storm, so we are probably not going to get that happening. Yeah, so that happened. Excuse me, Kitty Cat, you're on my list. All right. One of the coolest things in there is the frozen Sanctum Sanctorum that he walks into. Does Peter when he talks to Doctor Strange? What do you think is happening there? What do you have any idea? Because I have a couple of theories.
I have
really
a hypothesis that I haven't heard yet. You know, I've heard a lot of hypotheses. A lot of people are saying that when the Hulk smashed in, it blew off some spell that warded it or blah, blah, blah. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's Doctor Strange. I think that is Mephisto in disguise. And since Mephisto is a creature of fire, basically, like blood, fire, and magic, I think that the idea is that he freezes it so that he can stay nice and cozy instead of being all hot and weird. That's just my hypothesis.
Interesting.
Yeah, I really don't have a whole lot.
That hypothesis could be. Oh, I'm going to reconnect, guys. Hold on.
All right.
Okay, can you guys see me now? Hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you and see you.
Now we can't hear you.
Yeah, I think you're about to drop out.
Yeah, he'll be back in a minute.
You did hit record, right?
Yeah, I'm recording. I can cut this part out. I'm going to put a marker right there just in case.
Yeah, but say I'd drop a marker, just another cut right around there. And
38:50.
We're at 1 hour and 15 on the stream. Teen out of teen would smash.
Teen out of teen
would smash.
Would smash what? Like smash wood?
Yes, exactly what I meant. Oh man, trying to save that for when he gets back so that we
trying to save what?
Our talk stuff so that when he comes back we can pick up right where we left off.
Oh yeah.
All my exes live in Texas. That's why I live in Tennessee. You know, here's something we haven't discussed yet. And we don't have to. We can talk about right now since the show's not going. Fucking season 3 of The Circle coming back so damn quick.
Yeah. I thought that was odd whenever I saw that was going to be like already out. It's like, man, I honestly think that they filmed two seasons at the time. Like
it would only make sense, right? And I can only assume that they're filming multiple seasons at one time because, you know, they've got that full building, right?
Yeah.
So I would imagine you house your crew and part of it, but you still got a whole half, right? And you don't want all your contestants of the same season on the same floor. So I would imagine that you're filming like Brazil Circle, UK Circle, American Circle, and Mexico Circle or something all at the same time in that same building.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, like Kat told us, you know, there's other people waiting to be to be thrown in there, right? So I'd imagine you just wrap one season after, you know, you do X amount of days of work, and then you go, okay, now let's start on these guys that we haven't played with yet, and then we'll take a 6-month break, and then we'll start recasting for the season 4 and 5.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
That's how I could see it working, but
I mean, financially, it would make better sense. Go, welcome back.
Let's see. The cut time to get back into it is going to be at 41:40.
41:40.
What was the last thing said? I think Will was saying something about not.
Yeah, he didn't have a theory. I said the Mephisto theory. You said that's interesting, and then you were about to comment on it.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you want to start from there?
Yeah.
Ready?
Go for it.
Okay, I think the Mephisto thing is super accurate when it comes to some of this stuff. I don't know when he'll come into play because there is this Spider-Man comic. I think it's called One More Day or
Yeah,
something like
One
that.
More Day.
And it's a comic series, and it's not very well liked, but it's all setting up to really kind of get into that. And it's where he takes a chance on, making a deal with Mephisto,
Yeah.
and has a lot, breaks up with Mary Jane. Like everyone forgets he's Spider-Man, but yeah, it's really starting to kind of maybe roll out that could be where they're going. But everyone's wanting Mephisto for some reason. That he's like the villain everyone's talking about for the past couple of things that he needs to be involved right now. I don't know if they're going to go that route. I would like for the MCU to maybe bring him in, but we'll see if that's really the case. Because Wong says something to him, and poor Wong. Wong is the most underrated and underappreciated character I think in the MCU. It didn't even get known that he was snapped until you actually have to read like the actual script
Yeah.
of Infinity War to know that he snapped. People don't even know that he was snapped. Like he had a lot to do with everything being good, and no one listens to him. It's poor Wong.
His whole premise in the first Doctor Strange movie is that he's just like this balanced keeper of everything too, and like he's there in that final fight. He's there to help clean things up, and then it's like, yeah, he just kind of goes to the wayside. But he's going to make an appearance in 10 Rings, I believe. I think I saw a trailer today, and he was in the trailer for it.
Yeah, he's fighting Abomination in the trailer. So they're bringing a Hulk, back for that. It's gonna be really cool.
Nice.
And, one question in this trailer that you'll have to answer for everybody. Everyone will have to answer is that Daredevil? Is that Daredevil? Is that Matt Murdock slamming down the paperwork whenever Peter Parker is in the police station? That is a really prevalent theory in the internet right now. Is that this is where they're going to introduce that Netflix universe of the MCU, is have Matt Murdock be the one who defends Peter Parker in his case, I guess, that he's not the one who killed Mysterio. So, but there's things that really read into that, which is the arm hair of the character and the fact that they don't show his face. Because Charlie Cox is a very hairy man, and so they're thinking that probably is maybe Charlie, but his body type doesn't really fit. Whenever he's about to walk into the police station, they stop the frame, and it's like he's a little bit chunkier than Charlie Cox is. So we'll see if that's Daredevil. Do you guys want that to be Daredevil? Doesn't that make sense?
I mean, I guess it could make sense, but I haven't watched Daredevil, so I don't know.
I mean, comic lore wise, it does make sense because Daredevil and Spider-Man did end up spending a lot of time hanging out with each other. But do I want it to be Daredevil? I really don't have a preference. I've never liked Daredevil. I didn't like it when Ben Affleck played him. I haven't watched the Netflix series on it. To me, he was always just kind of I was like, you're blind Batman without all the cool toys.
He's blind, not rich Batman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a lawyer. He might be somewhat rich, but not as rich.
He's like a public defender, though.
True.
He takes a lot of pro bono cases and shit like that.
He's not even a rich lawyer. He's just a lawyer.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, and then the events, like I said, the events happened. WandaVision happened before Far From Home. So there's stuff in this, especially when and a lot of the stuff going on. If you go back and watch the other MCU stuff and go back and especially the first Doctor Strange, there's a lot of visuals that went back to Doctor Strange's first trip through the multiverse, basically. Whenever
he's fighting Dormammu,
whatever her name is.
Oh,
yeah. So, well, no.
You're talking about when she shoots him. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing. A lot of visuals within the trailer harken back to that first trip. So the multiverse has already been introduced in the Marvel Universe. It's now just being expanded. There's also stuff that's happening with those rings around when Doctor Strange is doing the spell. Well, apparently that's the same kind of ring thing that was around whenever Loki decided to visit the end of time. And that whole Citadel thing, you look around, that is how time is explained. It's a ring. so the theory is that Doctor Strange is playing around with the rings of time, and then everything gets broken up all of a sudden, just like the multiverse has been broken up through Loki, just like everything else is falling apart with Wanda. It's all coming together at this point in time. So I think that Doctor Strange is Doctor Strange, and he's doing a Doctor Strange thing by, all right, well, if the multiverse is going to break anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get ahead of it. And I think he's getting ahead of it right now, and that's what we're seeing happening, right? So I think that by the time we get to the multiverse of madness of his Doctor Strange movie, we're going to see that this was a plan from the get go, because he does shit like this.
True, he is kind of an arrogant prick, and even in the comics. We saw that in the first movie.
That's why I love. Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch, Benedict Cumberbatch plays it very well. Okay, so and now I want to get into what really people are really wanting to dive into, which is what are we going to see from the other Spider-Verses?
Yeah,
are we going to see? So in the trailer. It's a big thing. In the trailer, we have a sight that comes behind Peter while he's wearing a suit and scratches at him and nearly gets him, but he's blocked by some sort of shield or whatnot. It looks like that could be the Lizard from the Andrew Garfield Spider movies. I'm not excited to see the Lizard. Are you guys excited to see the Lizard still in this damn thing?
I'm not excited about it, but I'm not upset about it either. I mean, I would like to see a new Lizard, personally.
Right. I would like to see maybe that character revisited. There is a section, 2 sections actually, which I think this would be a crazy fight if this is actually going down, where there is a yellow electricity, yellow lightning, and lots of sand being thrown around. So there is a potential of both Electro, played by Jamie Foxx, and the Sandman, played by Thomas Hayden Church, making appearances. I am so in for both of those because I think those are 2 characters that didn't get enough appreciation within their respective movies, especially Jamie Foxx's character. Yeah, well, I think you can see both either because Jamie Foxx got ruined by his early character, and then his later character was fine when he was actually Electro, but the guy before that didn't make any sense. And in Sandman, his story is so tragic and so good, but the rest of that movie sucks so bad that you didn't get to appreciate that performance. Are you guys in on Sandman and Electro?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They need a little bit of redemption after the 3rd movie.
Well, I mean, Sandman was a great character. He didn't get a good story arc because that whole movie got horribly messed up with Sony stepping in and saying, like, you got to put Venom in this movie, and Raimi being like, I don't want Sony, or I don't know who Venom is, and I really don't understand the character. And they were like, well, you got to have him. And that kind of threw 3 for a whole bad run. Now, Electro, I liked Electro in the Andrew Garfield ones. I do agree with you, though. The character starts off and you're like, this is our supervillain, and then he goes from being like this complete, very like enigma, like Edward Nygma from the old Batman movie that Jim Carrey did, you know, like just kind of this weird, kooky guy to complete badass. And you're like, wait, what? Like, what changed his personality so drastically all of a sudden?
Yeah, the arc didn't make sense at all. The arc didn't make sense, and so I'm totally okay for that, and I'm totally okay if Sandman is a good guy in this experience, and this is a Sandman, a redeemed Sandman that is actually battling against Electro. I would love to see that too. There is the great little laugh that comes with the pumpkin bomb, and you see the glow of the pumpkin bomb, and there is Willem Dafoe just in voice, but you actually see a little bit of the glider, and you hear a little bit of the glider later on, but as the Green Goblin. And again, I am all for it. I need a better costume. I need that costume to be amped up for now 2021, because if you go back and watch that first Spider-Man movie and that that damn Green Goblin costume with the giant head, and just, it doesn't make any practical sense at all, because that is supposed to be a military style, uniform.
Yeah.
But it looks like who fucking made that?
I feel like you have to bring him back in that uniform though, or else it doesn't make sense. Because he dies.
Yes, because it's and that's another thing. Like, how do they come back? Because also, and the big reveal was out of it all was Doc Ock is going to be a big bad, and there's a way to check that Doc Ock is actually bad in this. If you watch the Spider-Man 2, whenever Doc has control of the arms with the inhibitor,
they're blue.
The arms glow white.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever he has no control, they're red. And what is the first thing you see out of those arms? They're glowing red. He's got no control. That is evil Doc Ock that you see. Are you guys wanting the multiverse to be completely broken and us like be able to just add all of these characters, willy-nilly, or are you kind of like me to where, yes, I want some of this added. I don't want this to become just this free-for-all where we expect every movie there to be this mix of things. I do enjoy the MCU for what the MCU is. I'm not sure if going back in the past and making sure that all the actors are the actors from these other things is the way to go.
Again, I'm torn because I really didn't care about bringing the other Spider-Men back into the Spider world here. Granted, I was always kind of iffy about the whole idea of like Hugh Jackman not playing Wolverine. But even then I've gotten to a point where I've moved past that because I'm like, he's just getting old, man. And like, how do you can't keep making him look like he's 30 something anymore. Like the dude's starting to show 50. I mean, he looks great for a 50-year-old still, but the dude's showing 50 now. So I was really kind of getting excited the idea of, hey, let's start the X-Men over. And this time it makes sense. We can get actors that are going to play these characters for a while versus like this back and forth we've had with all the X-Men releases and movies that have been like kind of tied together somehow. And, like Hugh Jackman's like the glue that's held them together mostly by appearing somewhere in every single one of them. But I don't know. Like, I'm cool. I'm happy that Ryan Reynolds is coming over as Deadpool. I don't think he could have done that any other way. And I think it was still early enough that it works. Yeah. And I think the MCU, you only need one or two good Deadpool movies. Maybe just one. I think you keep the other two as they were and you make one more that just brings him in almost as a bad guy or something, or as a kind of a middle guy, And I think you're set. I think that's all you need.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think so too. I would like there to be more.
You're gonna have to restart that one there, Chris. Let me write it down this time.
Try to put a marker.
Yep. Marker
is about to drop out and come back in.
Yep. 55:10. At least on my side.
Normally in a podcast, when people take breaks, this is where you'd hear a commercial ad from their sponsors. We don't have any sponsors, so instead, we're going to talk about the Manscaped Online. Manscaped just released the Lawnmower 4.0, so you can trim your nuts easier. But hey, there's nothing wrong with if you got the 3.0, it's still great. You can still trim your balls. But until we get the 4.0, no review videos. There you are. Yeah. Now you're moving back again.
All right, so you're going to have to restart that entire thing that you were about to say.
How long?
All of it.
We literally got to me getting...
Where was it?
I was done with what I said about Deadpool being okay. And then Will said, I agree. And then you just froze.
Mm-hmm.
And
so whatever your final thought, whatever thought you were about to say, it got none of it.
Wow. Okay. So that Fuck.
Yeah, I literally
What
did a
did I
Manscaped
say?
ad pause while you were frozen. I was just like, I'll just talk, I guess. And there it goes.
He's gone.
It caught up. I was wondering. I was like, "There's weird that it brought him back in a second time and then didn't drop him."
Yeah. Well, I think he was also a bit behind because there was that like 5 or 6 second pause.
Yeah.
And then it sounded like he was just responding to what you said, but even though there was like 5 or 6 seconds, it's like, well, maybe he's delayed.
No, he is. You can start to tell after a while because we'll start kind of trying, like we'll interrupt each other, but we won't. Like,
yeah,
we'll be talking, like neither of us is saying anything, and then all of a sudden we both start talking, and then we both stop, and it's like, okay, something's up. What's going on? And that's when you realize, oh, there's a delay right now.
Yeah.
Wish we could figure out a way to solve that, but
yeah, I think it's just his internet.
Yeah, but
like there's not much that we can really do about that because I think the internet he has is from the place that he's staying in. What is that? The Delta strain or whatever?
yeah.
How is it?
It's not bad. It it does what it needs to do.
It's mostly CBD.
I mean, it's technically CBD. It just has a high enough THC content to still do what a old school weed would do. Like back when we used to buy crappy weed in the day.
Not really good, but it's just like, it's there.
You still function off of it. You're still, you feel good, and it chills you out like CBD does. But you're still functioning even though you're still getting that little bit of that high. So you get a little hungry, you get a little sleepy, but it doesn't like. It's not like smoking Dro these days where you take a hit and you're on your ass for the next fucking 7 hours.
Yeah. Stuff today will just knock you on your ass, man.
Mm-hmm.
Always just go with some classic corn every now and then.
I was just saying that's pretty much what this is now. Like you can't find just like actual corn or like Reggie anymore. So this smokes a lot like that, where you could sit there and you could chief off of it a little bit throughout the entire day, and you would just be like in that good headspace.
Where'd you get it?
Hard 8.
Okay. Oh, that's right. He is selling that stuff down there.
Yeah, he's got Delta, he's got CBD, he's got Kratom, he's got all that shit now.
I thought Kratom was starting to be illegal.
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't even know what the fuck the shit is. Well, you need to do your focus thing too. You've been out of focus for a while now. All right, you're looking better. Ish. Will or Chris?
Okay, let's try it again. Hello.
There you go.
There we go. That worked. That worked a lot better than my finger.
Did that freeze on his face?
That was such a weird face for you to be frozen on. Yeah, frozen on some very weird facial expressions for Will.
All right. So yeah, you're gonna have to redo your entire thought that last thought you were about to do. Or did he freeze again?
Okay, so did I freeze again? I'm moving.
Okay.
Can you see me?
You're kind of freezing, but we can hear you now.
Okay, so you can hear me.
You're also delayed. I can hear myself talking through your headphones, and it's about 4 or 5 seconds.
Oh, that's weird.
It's no big deal. I mean, we'll just have to. Thorny and I will just have to kind of sit and listen, and just wait for you to catch up to us. It won't be a big deal. And any pauses, I could probably just cut out real fast if I have to.
Okay, so just let me know whenever I just need to start talking again.
All right, you can go ahead and start.
Starting this off.
Let's see. Let me write down this time right here. Hour 1 and 10 seconds, and you can go ahead and go whenever you want.
Well, I just hope that the multiverse of madness is actually the thing that actually blows everything up. I hope when we get to Doctor Strange, that's when everything just goes, well, bam, and the multiverse just completely explodes. Just like we are about to explode right here on the Zaboys podcast, live on twitch.tv /Zaboys_podcast, where you get to see the live and you get to see the backstage version of Zaboys. But we are also on the Deep Dallas Radio on Monday nights at 8 p.m. That's where you're going to hear some music, either from Carterized, Lone Star Conspiracy, or the Austin band, the After Dark Society. You'll hear all that, and you'll also hear us go over the news that Violator will be riffing after this on the Zaboys podcast.
Nice.
And we're clear.
Cool. Awesome.
You doing the Dragon Zord? Is what you're summoning? During a commercial break here, we like to take we like to sniff Sharpie markers. Sharpie markers really get you the high you're looking for here at Zaboys. We don't prescribe any other markers because Sharpies don't smear, smudge, or run. Just like those American colors. Sharpie markers. I don't know. I'm doing bad ad reads just for no fucking reason. I did one for Manscaped while you were resetting everything, and I was just like,
I gotta let my cat out real quick.
Do what you gotta do.
Alright, I got you, kitty cat.
I couldn't find anything around me to do one on this time, so I was like, oh, your Sharpie marker. There we go.
Here's something.
Yeah. Having a hard time cleaning up those blood and jizz stains. Get Clorox wipes.
Get those Clorox wipes. It's like a Billy Mays commercial. Billy Mays here.
Billy Mays here, having a hard time getting blood and cum out of your comforter. Oh, and there, of course, there goes Chris. Try OxyClean.
OxyClean.
If you call now, bam! I'll throw in another tub of OxyClean, absolutely free. That's a $200 value for $59.99.
It reminds me of that episode of South Park where Cartman is, like he's eating Chipotle or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got blood in his pajama, not his in his underwear.
Yeah. Oh God. Then you had what's his name from fucking Slap Chop?
Oh yeah, I can't remember that guy's name.
Yeah. Hey, you tired of all the hassle of chopping and cutting? Well, here, you're gonna love this. Check it out. Slap Chop. Want to make a little salsa? Throw a little tomato, little onion, little cilantro. Give a couple slaps. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Got cilantro. Oh yeah. Now you want to make some diced up hot dog. Check it out. Give a little circumcision. Stick the little hot dog in there. Slap, slap, slap. Look at that. Now it's got no skin. Good stuff. Slap Chop. And you're like, what the fuck? Want some nuts? Chopped nuts. You're gonna love my nuts.
Yeah. Love my nuts.
Real line.
Okay, I'm gonna go get water.
When you use Downy Unstoppables, every time you go to bed, it'll smell like you're bursting through a sea of orgasmic spray running across your face as it coats you down. Nothing smells better than Downy Unstoppables. Boost your laundry game. Because sex sells, people. You always got to put a little sex in your ad reads. Like, just remember back to when you were a spry, young, happy 10-year-old kid running through the Walmart aisles or the Target aisles, picking up every pack of Pokemon cards you could and cracking that fresh seal. Remember that smell? That smell of cardstock and glue. Damn, did it smell good. And then, well, after you smelt the big old cardstock and glue smell, you'd go home, unpack those packs, look for all your holographics, and then jizz all over your bedroom. What's sad is Chris comes back and all he hears is jizz all over your bedroom, and then it's gonna cut him right back out. I know Downey does not make a jizz-scented fabric softener. It's supposed to taste like, it smells like lavender and fresh linens. With Charmin Mega Rolls, you can clean up all that pre-cum. That's right. Don't have somebody else to clean it up for you? Just bend down with a square of Charmin Ultra and just wipe away. You can pick up any stain with Charmin Ultra and Mega Rolls. Coffee? You got it. Ketchup? Sure. Aborted children? Yeah, you can.
What are we promoting? Not aborted children, right?
No, this is Charmin Mega Rolls.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah. These are fucking bad. It's supposed to taste like no sniffing the markers and no tasting the laundry products. No, you're sniffing all of these things. Sniff the laundry pods. Snort pixie sticks, kids.
There you go. Yeah, and that, and sweet tarts, crushed up sweet tarts.
This one smells like cherry. This one's kiwi. I don't know, man. This one's got me really feeling good.
I'm surprised no one's ever tried to actually
put cocaine in pixie stick wrappers. I'm sure somebody has.
Oh, I'm sure somebody has tried that, but I was just saying, they always, I don't know. Seems like somebody would come up with some kind of a snorting candy, like,
oh Lord, I'm sure there's. I feel like there's probably we all did that with like Lucas in high school, like that lime salt.
Well, maybe y'all did. I didn't.
I mean, yeah, I did. We'd sprinkle it off across the table and cut it up with our school IDs and act like it was cocaine, and then we'd be like, "Hey, man, take a hit," and someone would be like, "Okay." I mean, I would be that guy usually, and then I'd be like, "Oh man, the lime, it burns my sinuses, man. I can feel it in my eye." And really, I couldn't feel shit because it was stuck up here in my dry ass nostril covered by all my boogers, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so hardcore." And it's like, no, I'm not hardcore. I just snorted lime salt. What the fuck? I was a 10-year-old idiot.
There was a kid whenever I was in high school. Have you ever had the spicy serendipity from Chicken Express?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so there was a kid that in the lunchroom. He forgot his cash that day, and he was like, "I'm hungry. I want some chicken nuggets." And I was like, "Well, I'll buy them for you, but you got to do this first." So I happened to have a packet of that on me because I was working at Chicken Express at the time. I was like, "Here, snort an inch of that, and I'll go buy you chicken nuggets." He did it.
Did he cry?
Oh yeah. You should have seen his eyes. Like,
I'd imagine it's probably just chili powder, red pepper,
cayenne.
Yeah, exactly. Just
salt.
Yeah, like, it's a bunch of fucking salt and black pepper, and it's probably just.
Yeah, the look on his face was, I'm not sure if it was really worth it, but I get chicken nuggets.
There's people who make like YouTube videos and shit off of like, can you blend it, or like putting things in like those pressure smasher things and seeing what it looks like as they smash like candles and like toothpaste and whatnot. Yeah, I bet you could make an entire YouTube or Twitch page based off of somebody just snorting stupid shit.
Oh yeah, there's have you seen the video of the guy who smokes a Carolina Reaper out of a bong?
No, I would imagine that's.
Oh, I'm gonna
probably
send you
ineffective.
Oh, it is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. Like, this guy's an absolute idiot. Give me a second, and I'll send you the link.
Is it just the pepper or a chip?
Oh, it's the pepper. Like,
how do you smoke a pepper?
Just go to YouTube and just type in "guy smokes Carolina Reaper out of a bong," and I guarantee you, it'll be like the first thing that pops up.
Let's see. Smoking a Carolina Reaper. It's 2 minutes and 9 seconds.
I see that.
Wow. Yeah. Apparently, Firefox really messing up.
So this is my bowl.
Yeah, the one that's 2 minutes and 9 seconds. That's the one. We hear you, Chris. Yeah. So you're what are you using? Oh, he's gone now, and now he's back.
Stuff it in there. Ooh, it's nice and
there you
oily.
are.
So he just pulls off a chunk of this stupid thing.
I'm just
watch
gonna
it.
see
Just
what
watch the whole
happens. I'm
video
not
for a
gonna say
second.
I'm gonna be able to
Like, this guy's a fucking
long rip
idiot.
this whole thing.
But I want to make sure if we got Chris back that we're
I
doing
don't know
what we
what's
gotta
gonna
do.
happen. You only live once, and this is the first time.
There's one
I've
down here
ever
called
been scared
Brave
to do
Man
something
Vapes and
like
Snorts a trio of super hot peppers.
Oh God.
Chris, are you on
I told
delay?
you guys I
Or
was going out with a bang.
No, I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go ahead and knock this out and we'll watch that later.
all right,
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, you definitely got to watch it because this guy's a fucking idiot.
We'll
Like,
get back to
why
it.
would you do this to yourself? Let's see.
All right, we're riffing some news, Will. Chris, you can throw
All
it
right.
into him?
Yes, I guess Squadcast and Chrome got their shit together because for a while Squadcast and Chrome was not working.
I was gonna say it's definitely working better than it was with you earlier.
Yeah, I was using Firefox earlier, so.
Okay, and here we go in 3, 2, 1, go for it.
And we are back live on twitch.tv/Zaboys_podcast. And we are live on the replay, because that's not live, on Deep Dallas Radio, Monday night starting at 8 p.m. Thank you, Bradley, for putting us on. We are the Zaboys podcast with segment number Trey Money. Put some respect on that name, on the Zaboys name. We will be having some riffing on the news with your news source for today. Will Violator, Shot Will.
That'd be me. All right, guys. Let's see. What do y'all want to start with? Y'all want to start with OnlyFans? Y'all want to start with the guy who's suing Nirvana, or do you want to actually? No, we'll go ahead and save Ida for the last one. So y'all can decide between Nirvana's Nevermind album and
Nirvana.
Start with
Nirvana. Let's start with Nirvana.
All right.
Always keep them waiting for the porn.
All right. So what do y'all know about know about this story so far?
Little to none, besides the fact I know that the young man who was on the cover of their Nirvana Nevermind album in like '91 is now suing the band for child pornography.
No.
Right.
Everybody doesn't know that's the cover of the baby swimming in the pool with his little pecker out.
Yes, for the dollar.
Yeah, hanging out trying to catch the dollar.
Yeah.
Which, amazingly, I don't know how you possibly could get a baby to sit and look this chill underneath the water.
It's one of the most amazing photos, actually, in photos. Like, that is a great photo. Like,
yeah.
I don't...
Like, it's a piece of art, like, realistically. Yeah. And so would you consider this child pornography before I get really into this this whole thing?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Not because not all nudity is pornography.
Right.
Not like it is in people's minds and context, whatever it is. So yeah, there's probably a guy who gets his jollies off on kids that really saw this as child porn because that's what he saw in his mind.
Right.
But it's not shot and it's not distributed for that fact. I think that's the difference between porn and just regular maybe art nudity is one's distributed for that reason. This just happens to be nudity, and you take it for what it is.
Also, it was the 90s. You know, at that point, everybody had pictures of their kids running around with their diapers off.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, if you don't flip through a family photo album and see a picture of you doing some shit like that, then your parents obviously were most either ahead of the curve or just didn't love you that much.
Well, and also look at what some people put of their children on Facebook.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like you're like if you're worried about child molesters, like you're putting images out there for these people to easily find.
Yeah,
like, that's another thing about this. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this story. But yeah, so this guy is suing Nirvana and everybody who was basically involved in this album. So a total of 15 people are getting sued for $150,000 each. Which I find kind of ridiculous because
how many people for 150,000 each?
15 people each for 150,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So if he wins this thing, he's gonna make bank. But personally, I don't think he really stands a chance of winning this because part of it is he's been doing he did like a 5-year, a 10-year, a 15, a 20-year, or a 10, or no, a 15-year, a 20-year, and a 25-year anniversary picture, like, wearing a bathing suit, but following like the same thing.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for years, and he's been making money off of this.
So
Like,
yeah, he's
Yeah.
been celebrating it himself.
yeah, but now he is claiming. Well, I'll just go ahead and just start reading the article. Spencer Eldon, age 30, says Nirvana engaged in child pornography when the band used a picture of him naked on the cover of their breakthrough album. Spencer Eldon was 4 months old when he was photographed by a family friend in 1991 drifting naked in a pool. This picture was taken at the Rose Bowl Aquatic Center in Pasadena, California, which would be used later that year for the cover of Nevermind, Nirvana's seminal second album that helped define Generation X and rocketed the Seattle band into international fame. In the decades that followed, Mr. Eldon appeared to celebrate his part on the classic cover, recreating moments for the album's 10th, 17th, 20th, and 25th anniversaries. So there's the actual correct numbers, not the one that I mentioned earlier. Though he did not do these naked. He was, wearing a bathing suit. And one of the things that he said was, "It's cool but weird to be a part of something so important that I don't even remember." He said in a 2016 interview with New York Post, in which he posed holding the album cover at the age of 25.
Yeah,
So,
his case is really, really, really flimsy.
Yeah, I don't think he could win it.
No.
But
The fact that he did those other shoots of it, it discredits his any type of trauma that it would have caused. You wouldn't recreate those traumas again and again and again and again for money.
Yeah.
To if that really affected you like that, you know what I mean?
Usually once you see that you've been traumatized by something, you avoid it from there on out. So it's not like,
right.
If somebody, I mean, since we're on the topic of what is this pornography or not, like if someone in the porn industry ends up getting traumatized during a shoot, usually they leave the industry right after that because they realize they don't want to do this anymore. They don't say, well, I'm going to go back and shoot about 150 more fucking videos this year just to keep making money, and then I'll get out of the industry. That's just, that seems counterproductive.
Yeah. Let's see. So now, however, Mr. Eldon, age 30, has filed a federal lawsuit against the estate of Kurt Cobain, the musician's former bandmates, David Grohl, Chris Novoselic, and Mr. Cobain's widow, Courtney Love, among other parties involved. He claimed that they, along with Geffen Records, which released Nevermind, profited from his naked image. It is one of the top-selling records of all time, with at least 30 million copies sold worldwide. That's a lot of copies, and a lot of people who've seen his dick. So, granted,
and yet, sadly, I bet he's only actually seen four people could actually tell you what it looks like now.
Right.
So let's see. And according to his, I think this is his lawyer that said this. It doesn't really say. This is a terribly written article. Defendants knowingly produced, possessed, and advertised commercial child pornography depicting Spencer, and they knowingly received value in exchange for doing so, according to the lawsuit, which was filed on Tuesday in federal court in California. Mr. Eldon suffered permanent harm because of his association with the album, including emotional distress and a lifelong loss of income earning capacity. The lawsuit does not provide details about the losses and said that they would be disclosed at the trial.
So basically, he's saying he can't make money because his 4-month-old baby dick was on this on his album cover. No, you can't get a job probably because you've probably been trying to leech off of this fucking thing since 1999 or whatever. You were old enough to figure out that you were on this cover, and you've been trying to make a living off of this instead of actually maybe getting a job. So that's my opinion on this. You're broke now.
I mean,
you're broke and you need some money.
My thought process is if he'd never filed this case or done these other pictures, he could have gone through life and nobody would have known that was him ever. Like, they'd been like, oh, look at that baby. Like, who would have looked at that album one day and then, like, while he's standing there in their place of business and went, man, this like 6-month-old baby or maybe 1-year-old baby looks a lot like you, even though you're 27 now. Like, it never would have happened,
Yeah, this guy's looking for attention, in my opinion, like straight up looking for attention.
He can always start an OnlyFans.
That's a good fucking segue. I don't want to ruin that, but
no, go ahead.
I just need to know: is this guy actually, saying that his family member shot this as child porn? Since it wasn't a a picture done by Geffen Records. It was done by a family member. So is he saying that his family member shot this as a child porn thing and then Geffen distributed it? Because that's what that means. If it wasn't Geffen who did it, he's saying that his family member shot this as a child porn picture. So
Well,
that's the thing right there.
Well, let's keep rolling here real quick on this while we're, you're getting real close to the next little bit of this. Mr. Eldon, an artist living in Los Angeles County, has gone to therapy for years to work through how the album cover affected him, said one of his lawyers. And in my opinion, I mean, people, some people react differently, but I really don't think that this could have messed with him as bad as he's making it sound.
Right.
And his lawyer continues on to say he hasn't met anyone who hasn't seen his genitalia. It's a constant reminder that he has no privacy. His privacy is worthless to the world.
I think there's some other stuff that happened earlier in Mr. Eldon's life that is really the cause of all this.
Quite possibly.
I don't think that the Geffen record people in Nirvana had anything to do with what he's feeling. I think that some family member has something to do with how he's feeling, and he's taking it out, getting some money from Geffen and from Nirvana instead of suing a family member for maybe being a bad person.
Yeah.
Do you ever think that album cover goes under the Mandela effect? Because personally, like when I think about it, I never remember that you can see the kid's little, wiener. Like I always just remember there's a baby swimming towards $1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really think of the fact the baby's naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Like it's just like, oh, look, you look at the album cover and it's like, well, that's Nirvana.
Yeah, it's a striking cover, but
yeah. Also, an interesting fact: the guy who took the picture is named Kirk Weddle, and this Mr. Eldon's picture was picked among another dozen or so pictures of babies that Mr. Weddle has photographed. So this picture happened to be the one that was chosen for the album cover and then altered to show the dollar right there.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's where it starts to get a little
pictures. Yeah, where's Mr. Weddle's other pictures at? Maybe he's the one we should be looking out for.
That might be the issue here that no one's talking about.
Guy. Yeah.
Oh, I just
got some other pictures
on the link here. Oh, there's some weird pictures on.
On all babies.
Flagged there, Will.
I hope I didn't get flagged on that. Oh, and I had to use my work computer to look at that. All right.
OnlyFans.
His parents paid $200 to be able to use the picture for that album cover, which I found very interesting as well.
They got paid $200. That's it.
Yeah, they paid $200 to get that permission to use that picture for Nirvana.
Wow, that's why he's mad. Like,
yeah, like who knows? There's lots of reasons.
Damn,
that's something different. So, anyways, moving on into OnlyFans. So y'all know quite a bit about this. Like there was the huge thing that came out. Like they're going to get rid of their porn side.
Yeah, OnlyFans is no longer going to promote it as a platform for pornography.
Yeah, they will know
thing that came out. All right.
Yeah. You're welcome for that. But you know what they did in the past couple of days?
Retracted.
They back.
Yeah,
they backtracked that bad boy.
Yeah, they backtracked that real fast. So for 5 days, it looked as if one of Britain's most successful tech startups was on the verge of a make it or break it gamble, one that would either see it burst on the global stage or destroy its billion-dollar business.
Destroy.
A self-described subscription social network announced last week that it would ban sexually explicit content starting in October. The ban was a shock because behind the generic branding, such content is perceived to be OnlyFans' biggest draw.
Yeah.
Duh.
That's the only reason I knew of OnlyFans was because it was only porn. That's really what I thought all of OnlyFans was. I mean, I know you can do other things on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Almost like Patreon and stuff like that, where it's like, almost like literal, like, hey, you pay me now, I do stuff.
It's a content hosting platform. The idea is that like we could put Zaboys onto Patreon and OnlyFans and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It would have no draw or appeal to hardly anybody. Like our best bet would be a Patreon. Naked.
If we could do this show shirtless, and then
you could, but I don't know if we really. I don't know. I still don't see the appeal. We've had this conversation before, Will. as a guy, I can't go on the internet and show pictures of my butthole and make $1 million a year. But for some reason, semi-cute girls all the way up to bomb gorgeous girls can. They can get on the internet, show some tits, ass, and literally their butthole with a jewel stuck in it, and make $2 million. Exactly, because guys want to look at everything. Women don't. Women are more emotional about being turned on.
It's also like there's also that thing of, you know, what is porn and what is not porn,
right?
That we were discussing earlier with the OnlyFans first ruling, because they were getting rid of sexually explicit material, but they were not getting rid of nudity. So there were lots of the sex work, internet people that were really upset by this, that probably almost didn't need to be upset by it because their thing wasn't actually being affected.
Right.
If you're just taking pictures of yourself, you know, naked, if you're just taking of yourselves and like cosplay, nude, stuff like that, that really wasn't what they were going after. They were really going after the explicit stuff
penetration.
That you probably can and that you can see in other places for free, which I've never really got that either. I've never really understood how that made so much money when there's stuff for free everywhere. Yeah. That didn't make any sense to me, but I guess people want personalization, maybe.
That's
you
where all these
dollar amount to it, and then all of a sudden it seems to be higher quality just because you pay for it, even whether it is or isn't.
That's the thing, right? Both those things come into effect. First of all, the personalization of things like OnlyFans and Patreon, all that is great because you can literally say like, I made this video, I'm only selling it to 25 people, go. And now you are one of the only 25 people that can see that.
Yeah.
But also the idea is that by putting something behind a paywall and giving, again, little teaser trailers of it, people are like, "Ooh, I want to see where this goes," and so they're willing to pay $11 or $25 or stuff,
right?
Because you're like, "Whoo!" Especially if you're good at what you do, like if you're a marketing genius, like some of these girls are and some of these guys are. If you never show yourself nude on any platform and then you say, "Over here, I'm nude," people want to see that because they've got those questions like, "What? You know, do her tits fall to her knees? How big is his dick?" Things like that, you know.
Yeah, they use like Instagram and Facebook to like, you know, say that's their tease is their Instagram, and then it's like, but you can go check me out if you really want to see. Go to my OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's behind an $11.99 monthly paywall, and you know you can cancel it at any time, but you got to buy that first month still.
Yeah. After the news,
Go ahead.
Sorry. But that also happened with the 972 numbers or whatever they were, the 1-900 numbers or whateper. People were paying for phone sex for years and years and years. And I think this is that same mentality of like personalization. Like I almost feel like I know this person because they're doing this very private thing for me.
Yeah.
And there's millions upon millions of people that I think that's what the voyeur thing is really big too. So that also comes into play with that.
But by the way, people are willing to pay for companionship, and that's what this kind of feels like. I guess that's what their brain is telling them, like, this is my companion, even though it's just on a screen.
Yeah, Chris. By the way, that'd be a great song title: "New Age Phone Sex."
New Age Phone Sex would be a good song title. That's what this is. And so, but with them backtracking on it, I personally think that this was a great marketing ploy.
I think so too.
Because now, okay, so think about for the past 2 weeks before when this came out, everybody was talking about OnlyFans. People who had no dog in the fight were talking about OnlyFans, talking about it, and letting people know that yes, there's sexually explicit material on this, and there's also other stuff too, but there's sexually explicit material, and that was the conversation, and then all of a sudden they backtrack on it. Boom! That's getting your name out there in the public. That's also allowing people to know what your product has. And then you have goodwill now because you've now brought back something that people were very against you getting rid of. And now you have this whole goodwill thing. So, everyone knows who I am. Everyone knows what I do. And now people are happy because I gave you what you wanted. It's marketing almost 101 right there. You gave yourself the best publicity you possibly could without really angering anybody, because now you gave people back what they wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know, because they lost a lot of content creators because of it. A lot of people said, "Oh, if that's going to be the case, we're out." They went over to other sites, opened up those sites that openly declare that they are for explicit content, and I don't know if those creators go back. And so
they'll go back. You know why? You know why they'll go back? Because those other sites don't have the backing that OnlyFans does.
True.
And so now you have all these like little trickle sites that are like, oh, we do this, oh, we do that. Well, now they only have the niche of what they're doing. And OnlyFans now has back the explicit material, the stuff that the other places aren't doing, and billions and now dollars of the past couple of years of income to push themselves. It's almost like WWE getting rid of indie wrestling. Whenever they first started doing that, they got all these different things and whatnot, and gathered all these talents and whatnot, and kind of got rid of these small wrestling organizations. And it didn't matter what these organizations did; they were still going to be top dog because they now had all the money, they had all the power, and no matter what bad decisions they made, they were always going to be the ones that were marketed before anybody else. The only website anyone knows that does this, that matters, is OnlyFans. All those other ones are, you got to look them up. You don't have to look up OnlyFans. It's a national, international brand that is what you think of when you think of this material. Like WWE is what you think of when you think of wrestling. Kleenex is what you think of when you think of tissue. OnlyFans now has the market corner when it comes to privatized videos and explicit material. Everyone knows that didn't know already that it exists. That's why I think it was a marketing genius move.
Yeah, I mean, even this article says the site's name has become shorthand for homegrown pornography, thanks to its sleek interface, easy to use experience, and importantly, loose content policy.
Yeah,
because they don't care. They're like, you can put whatever you want on here. Anybody can post a picture or videos, charge for views, and if they got fans, they can easily make a living. So
people have.
Yeah.
So,
well, let me read this next clip right here real quick. So after the news of the impending ban broke, all sex workers began sharing advice about other platforms that would still work with them. They also expressed fears that the decision could serve to drive the business back to underground or back onto the street after losing one of the few sites that allows individuals to earn real money from adult content. They worried the company was seeking to do what so many others had, build a business on the back of adult content and then abandon it when mainstream success came calling.
Yeah, and that happens. I mean, that really does happen. I think YouTube got in some troubles at different points in times for being a little bit more explicit than it really was trying to be.
Yeah,
not as much as anything else, but I mean, I don't know. I am all for the sex work trade. I think the more power to you. Do what you need to do to make your money. Use your skills. Use the things that you're able to do. I also believe that
pedal the ass that God gave you.
Yeah, exactly. I also believe that businesses have a right to do what businesses want to do. And so if this wasn't a marketing ploy and they were really getting pressured and they really felt that they needed to get rid of this to continue on as a business, then I can't get mad at a company for doing what they need to do to survive. I just don't believe that's what they were doing. I don't believe it at all.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Hard to say. I don't know. I don't think that whoever's at the top of their board had any idea what they were doing when they said it. And then they realized how much money they were going to lose out on. And they said, oh, shit, let's reverse that.
Reverse course. Beep, beep, beep. Back the Brinks truck up.
Back that up.
Back that ass up.
I mean,
all right, what are we gonna end on there, Willie Will?
Well, we're going to end it on a current, I mean, even, this is definitely currently happening. Hurricane Ida has made landfall earlier this afternoon and causing all kinds of problems in Louisiana right now. I mean, I'm technically still working, like keeping an eye on it and everything. But it has gone down. It hit landfall at a Category 4, and then it's currently now sitting at a Cat 2. And actually, no, it looks like they just released an update 16 minutes ago that it's now a Category 1. So it's definitely losing speed and power, but it's still just wreaking all kinds of havoc across Louisiana and Mississippi and going over into Georgia and all that. There's all kinds of problems going on. Like right now, Hurricane Ida continues to slowly weaken with sustained winds now at 95 miles an hour, which is still yeah, that's still a high end category 1, but it started off whenever it hit landfall at 165 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I mean, that rips stuff, right out, like trees right out of the ground. Like, and then obviously there's a whole lot of flooding. Damaging hurricane force winds continue to gust up to 111 miles an hour. And that was measured in Mandeville, Louisiana. Right now, the storm is currently located about 5 miles west of Killian, Louisiana, and 30 miles southeast of Baton Rouge. So that's the current updates, live. I mean, obviously by tomorrow, this is going to be died down to just a tropical storm as it continues to move inland. And by the time anybody's listening to this on Deep Dallas Radio.
Yep.
But I mean, like everything that I've been looking at, it's completely flooded everywhere. All of New Orleans has no power, like none of it. It's all gone.
And the entire parish, not just the city, the entire parish does not have power.
All of it. It's nothing. Yeah. Like if you don't have a generator, you're sitting waiting and getting flooded out. Like hopefully people left, but some people are capable of leaving, others aren't, and they just kind of have to risk the storm.
Some people just won't leave.
Yeah. It's going to be devastating. It looks like also, and let me go back to this other one that I just saw. Biden made let's see where
an address.
Yeah, Biden approves Louisiana disaster declaration. It looks like the president's actions made federal funding available to the affected individuals in the parishes of Assumption, East Baton Rouge, East like all these different places. Like pretty much they're going to use federal funds to help fix all this. And obviously, it's going to be something like with Hurricane Harvey that happened in Houston. People are going to start after the storm passes. I'm assuming a lot of volunteers will go out there and try to help clean up and go find people. And just, we're going to see a lot of things like that going on over the next couple of days once this kind of starts passing off. And hopefully it will, I'm hoping it kind of calms people down and gives them something else to think about other than a lot of the other terrible things that are happening, even though this is a terrible thing. But one of the things that comes out of things like this is you get to finally see some good in humanity. And I think, honestly, right now, that's something that we need, that America definitely needs to see is, people actually being good to one another. Because right now, all we're seeing is a whole lot of hate.
Yeah, we see some crazy stuff. I just last night, apparently, there was a great local show called Chill Sounds and Breakdowns, too. And they had a great night. I saw videos of it, and there were lots of people out there, lots of people showing local love. But the night ended early because somebody decided to shoot off a gun in the parking lot a bunch of times. Saw a video of it. Yeah, and everyone scrambling and running and stuff like that. And
were they shooting at somebody, or was it just?
No, they were shooting straight up in the air. I saw the video of the guy actually shooting, and they were actually running away, like being idiots, and then shooting straight up into the freaking air, like a
fucking moron.
Yeah, morons.
That's the kind of person that doesn't deserve a gun.
Yeah, and now everyone in a couple of days is going to be able to have a gun, whether they deserve it or not.
Yeah, September 1st. Oh, that's a whole other
can of worms right there. But so
something else I could have talked about. Like the fact that you don't even have to have a license to carry you don't even have to have a license to carry a pistol anymore. All you have to do is be 21 years old and pass a background check, and then you just
and a human being, basically.
Yep. Welcome to Texas, y'all.
Welcome to Texas.
I hate to say it, but that's a whole another thing. Abbott doing another fucking stupid thing, and I hate to say it, but that's never getting reversed.
Yeah.
It won't. There's no way that'll get reversed. It's in Texas. There's no way.
We love our guns. We love our guns. Yeah. I if you want to donate anything to right now to the people affected by Ida, the American Red Cross and the Salvation Army are the way to go. But definitely be on the lookout because celebrities will have their drives and fundraisers and whatnot, like JJ Watt did. JJ Watt became one of the greatest humans of all time because of all the money he was able to raise for the people down in Houston. I guarantee we'll have tons more stories about people doing great things for New Orleans again and Louisiana again. Like Drew Brees. Drew Brees did that whenever he first got down there. Did a lot of good stuff for that city.
Maybe he'll do
So
it again.
maybe he will, especially as a retired man. He has some time on his hands. We have lots of times on our hands here on the Zaboys podcast. I am Positive C. Over there, that's been James Thornquist, Thorny. Will Violator Shotwell has been our producer. And we will be back in a couple of weeks with some more fun. I want to do a couple little shout outs right now to my MPX family. I want to give a shout out to Tommy Prince. He was crowned Mr. MPX on Saturday night. So good job, Tommy Prince, winning that tournament. And I also want to give a shout out to Johnny O'Mara. He is now the MPX Prospects champion as he defeated Gabe Wilder in a surprise victory. Good job, Johnny. You now have a belt. You deserve it, my good friend.
Yeah.
Sorry I wasn't there to celebrate with you guys, but I will be there next week. We'll have a lot of fun in the next couple of weeks here on the Voice Podcast. I think we'll have a wrestler in the next couple of weeks. You guys want to do that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring someone on. I think it might be Gideon Vane. It might be Gideon. He actually expressed interest in coming on, so we'll get in contact with him, and we'll have some more good times here on the Boys Podcast. Tune in on Sundays on twitch.tv/theboys_podcast. Tune in on Monday nights, every other Monday, on Deep Dallas Radio at 8 p.m. sharp. We will have the show there along with the music of Carterized, Lone Star Conspiracy, and the After Dark Society. We've had some fun. I hope you have a good time listening to us every week, and we will be back. Monowia and stay gold, Pony Boy.
And we're out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good stuff. Maybe I need to start using Chrome because it looked a lot better and worked a lot better.
Your audio also didn't break up near as much.
Awesome. So maybe Chrome is the way to go now.
Yeah. Whenever you listen to after I'm done editing, you'll be able to tell the difference between the first two segments of this one. Like it's drastically different.
Yeah. So that was good. No, I like that show. Yeah, I'll get in contact because I think Gideon was the last one to. Let's see. Red hit me up. So it was Dave, but he is moving. Then Sebastian.
Ooh, lucky failure.
Where?
And Lafitte and John Lafitte. Looks like 200 people are still stuck there, can't get out, and the levee is literally about to break.
Oh, fucking Christ! And Lafayette?
It says it's not Lafayette. It's like Lafitte, like Lafitte. That's it.
Oh,
it's Lafayette.
But I'm looking to see where it is specifically. But yeah, like these people are in about to be trouble. Yep. Yeah, this is a new update. I'm looking at. I'm using my my resources for New Orleans on from work, and I mean everything I'm looking at right now is just like, my God, this is absolutely horrible.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see on the news in the next couple of days, definitely.
Yep. That's true.
All right, gang, good show.
Taliban.
I'm gonna clean up and get ready for bed and whatnot. I gotta work in the morning.
Yep. Good luck, man.
I will. You guys have a good one, guys.
You too. Man. Stay chill.
Take care.
I will.
Oh, man.
Well, I'm going to be up for quite a while, so if you want to keep on chit-chatting on the stream, I'm down.
No, I probably need to go to bed, too. It's
oh, that's right. You got to work tomorrow.
Yes, I do. And tomorrow will be hectic because it's the beginning of the month for us. So it'll be order every damn supply we can. Plus, just getting materials from anywhere right now is hell because, COVID kind of screwed up all the shipping. I'm sure that now that we're about to either go back to war with the Middle East or potentially not, who knows? But, seeing that there's going to be a government change over there, I don't think we'll be getting oil as regularly as we were in this world. So that'll probably make things a lot harder to ship as well.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna be a mess. The whole thing is just about to be a huge fucking
yep.
mess.
Say hurricane season is going to put us on a backlog of what we can produce at work. So half the jobs we have are going to come to a standstill, and the other half are going to have to get bumped up. So everything that we have on stock will have to get swapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a fucking mess, honestly.
Yep. This whole thing is gonna be a mess.
So what we're living in.
Yeah, well, that's just the world in general. Like I find it funny. Some people just like they think like, oh, the world's and it's like, no, this has been happening all the time. I mean, this specific set of things has not happened in this order, but the world's always fallen apart. Like it just some people look at other things more seriously than they do, like as something that's more serious than other things. Like somebody like may not really fucking care. Like, oh, there's a hurricane that just hit. There was an earthquake that happened in Haiti. There's, the Taliban took over Afghanistan again. Like, there's, like, I don't know. Like, some people don't see the world ending, and other people see the world ending way too much.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's always something bad is always happening.
Yep, exactly. So when you say there's probably somebody that doesn't care, that's me. I don't watch the news because all it is a way to tell us that basically things are always bad, and it's just a nice way to make us, constantly afraid. And it's like I don't need that. Like I'm gonna go out and live my life and do what I need to do, and my life doesn't revolve around what's going on, 300 miles away or 2,000 miles away because I don't know. It's just all about, you got one life. You got to survive. Just keep going. So,
yeah, sadly, I have to keep up with this shit because it's part of the job.
No, I get that. Trust me, I get it. I'd probably do a lot more. Yeah. If I kept up with it, I'd probably have a lot more information and a lot more that I would be on top of. But like I said, I don't want to stress about it. It's not my place to stress about it.
Yeah, technically, it's not my place to stress about it either, but I have to know just in case.
Yeah,
it's one of the quote unquote perks of my industry.
Oh yeah, totally a perk. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna get out of here.
Whenever they tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm like, actually, I kind of do. It's my job to know.
Well, one of those things that when people say you don't know what you're talking about, it's usually them just trying to belittle you because they feel like they're a know-it-all and they have all the information when really they don't. They're just on their side of the fence saying, this is what I've learned. Here's what I've read. It's like, yeah, but you're just standing up for one side of things.
Yeah. You're not looking at both sides and coming to an actual conclusion. You picked a side and then you're just going to agree with that no matter what. Rather than coming to your own conclusion. And then those people call other people sheep, which I find is really funny.
Yeah, exactly. Whew.
All right, man.
Yep. Good luck.
Yeah.
Stay awake.
I'm going to try. I definitely have to stay up till at least 3.
Or you set an alarm to wake you up every 45 minutes and check everything.
Well, I thought about that too. And realistically, everything that's in here is already set. I bet if I fell asleep, no one would even know. But the guy that's going to come back at about 3:00 is going to check in on Microsoft Teams. So I need to at least be awake to, pass it off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I mean, I probably should be putting stuff in, but the amount of stuff he has in here, it's like, I don't really know what else to put in. Like you've got everything all over New Orleans you already covered. Like,
yeah,
I'm basically just making sure that
if anything else pops up, it gets put on there.
Yeah, and he's pretty much got everything, and there's not much else that could really happen unless like Louisiana literally falls into the fucking ocean.
And I think Florida will beat it there first.
Yeah, I think so. I read a fun thing today. Apparently, the storm made the Mississippi River flow backwards.
Cool.
I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty intense wind speed and water level change, but man, that's actually would be really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, apparently it just went whoop, the opposite direction, which is, but I mean, that's a storm surge too. So, but yeah. All right, man, you have a good one.
Yeah, you too. If you get bored, you should check out the net on Disney Plus. They've got Marvel's What If,
Yeah, I've been meaning to look at that, but I haven't really. I don't know what it is, so I haven't looked at it yet.
They explain it in the first episode. Basically, it's reimaginings of like what happened in other multiverses of the Marvel world. Like it's like in one world or in one universe, you saw Captain America become Captain America. Well, in another universe, he didn't, and Peggy Carter became Captain Carter.
Huh.
And then like the next one, it's like, hey, in this universe, Star-Lord or Peter Quill wasn't abducted, but instead T'Challa from Black Panther was. And it's just all these different like concepts, and they're really good.
They're all cartoons.
Yeah, they're all animated.
They're animated rather than.
So there's like 3 of them, so that's an hour and a half right there. But it's been good. I checked it out this weekend just to check it out. I was like, oh, that actually was fun to watch. Like the third one's really good, actually. It's basically like it's called "What If Earth Lost Its Mightiest Heroes." So that right there kind of gives you the idea of what it's about, and it's compelling enough that you're like, oh shit, that's cool.
Might have to check that out. I'm gonna have to give myself something to do to try to stay awake for the next 3 hours or so. Have you watched Monsters at Work yet?
No, the new Monsters Inc. thing you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
I mean, it's childish and cute, but I mean, I honestly liked it, or like it because it's. I've been looking forward to like I like the Monsters Inc. franchise anyways, uh, because I just find it fun to watch, and I grew up watching all that, but like this is now just 22-minute episodes of like what happens right after the first movie. Like I mean, it takes place starting the next day.
Nice.
And yeah, and then they introduce these new monsters and stuff, and they still got Mike and Sully in it as well, and with the same voice actors. So it wasn't like, oh, we're just gonna do a new, we're gonna do a spin-off and then not use any of the old characters. They bring back a bunch of the old characters too, but they're not always just the main focus. So they're slowly building it to where you're focusing on a couple of new monsters, and they'll probably slowly start moving some of the older ones out. But I think they were smart by not just completely dropping them and just saying, "Oh, here's a spin-off show." I think that would have fucking sucked.
Yeah, never would have worked.
Yeah.
Well, maybe for kids it would have, but you wouldn't have. You would need to tag it something differently.
Yeah, you wouldn't have gotten the adults that grew up watching it. Like it wouldn't have gotten my attention. I even put off watching it because I was like, "Oh, are they
26-year-olds that saw it when they were 7?"
Yeah. I saw it when I was like fucking, let's see, when did that movie come out? Like
you were probably a teenager.
2003. Yeah, I think I was probably about 13 or so. 12, 13. Great fucking movie.
I remember because when Pixar, like, there's a lot of Pixar movies. I remember when they came out, I always felt like I was too old to watch them. Like these are kids movies, but then you'd watch them and be like, these are really good.
Yeah. I mean, I watch all these Pixar movies now, and like this is not necessarily a kids film. Like once you get some of the adult jokes that they throw in there, it's like
yeah.
That's what kept it entertaining for the parents.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, there's some of them that I'll sit and watch and be like, "This was made for children?" Like Toy Story. Like, yeah, it's family friendly and kid friendly, but that's an adult that's an adult movie.
Yeah. Yeah. The story plots always have adult themes to them still.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm getting out of here.
All right. Have fun.
Catch you later.
Deuces.
Bye. Whew. All right, chat. We're out for the night. It's been fun. We had a good time. Of course, if you ever want to leave any comments or have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat sometime or go to the Facebook and hit it up or anything like that. We always appreciate having you guys here. We hope to see you next time. Goodbye.